auto turn. I only started playing Terry recently, so
just a quick little what I'm going to say. Going for some sandwich plays, trying to keep the opponents off of each other and out of each other's game.
Terry put it on.
nice.
You take the disadvantage if you're trying to keep them off the ledges.
Probably one of them.
Oh, yeah. I love Falco. It's so balanced. Oh, it's spot on.
Yep. Yeah, Falco with the bag to take that table stuff. That Snake's still holding on to it though, so let's see what he can do.
Terry got TK Will up there.
I grabbed one. Nice Terry.
Second. Snake with all three stocks still on. Hopefully he can help out.
It looks like Terry just
Terry has to go.
never mind, Snake's down right there.
Right,
Right
taking the advantage.
Terry's got to go.
Right, TK Will going after the
Terry's got spike.
That gets killed.
Cable can't revive himself. His teammate wants it.
Oh, this is like it's going to be a 2v1 for now, though. The high stakes.
They're really putting the pressure on him.
But it seems like it was worth it.
Oh, there we go. Team combo.
Actually, no. Even if I try to see forward too low. Yeah.
No, I popped you inside for you.
I know, but even if I try to see forward, I'm too low. No, he can see forward. Yeah, I can see
What's your
forward.
C4 on the stage?
That was some
No, but I'm still
game.
with
Terry.
You die.
No, he got out. Right away.
On doubles, like, on purpose, you can do, like, down B and, like,
on that pretty much. I can stick it to him.
make it double.
Now we pick
Those team combos aren't often easy to pull off, and we've shown that.
you guys pick
So we can just find another thing.
like
It's just gonna keep changing.
I think Red Bull out.
All right, and it seems like the next
That's one of those working stages. That actually gives out a disadvantage without the
Yeah. You want my backpack?
It's on that top last song.
I don't know what you
That's true because they got the ledges on the side.
It's gone. I don't think he knows my backpack.
There's also the blast song. That's just a lot nice.
That's true. All right, seems like they're keeping the same fighters this time. Let's see what it's going to be like.
They're going in for the double strategy, but it looks like he's breaking out.
Falco getting a lot of damage right off the bat. That's not good. But it seems like Terry's going for the advantage against Snake. He's definitely
No way.
last match.
I'm starting to see some tracking. Terry's really good at it.
Let me focus on that.
And then when he gets the opportunity,
He might copy some military.
but
That's true. Let's see if TK will do some against Falco. He's got some pretty high.
It's like the high.
ducked under and goes right back up to the deliveries on the fouls down himself.
Put the Metal Gear on my flag. What the please?
Terry put on
Twice over every
TK
game.
rule. Falco coming in for extra aerial attacks. And it seems like they might get him. Nope. King K. Rool with that crazy recovery coming back on stage.
Looks like we've just got two 1v1 situations going on here. I'm not really seeing a lot of teamwork or team attacks that much.
Yeah, Fox is really going for more or less that spike
Snake's
offstage
down.
style. Whereas Terry is trying to rake up the damage.
Man, these guys are dropping like flies over here.
Ooh, King K. Rool destroying Terry's shield, but Terry did not get stunned. Let's see if they can break it again.
Terry bailing Falco out of trouble. He's putting the pressure on K. Rool. He's trying to get him off stage and into disadvantage. He got him off stage. Let's see if he can put the finishing touch on it.
Nope.
K. Rool managed to escape, but he's right back into disadvantage.
K. Rool with that crazy recovery.
Come on, Terry with the edge guard, and K. Rool's out for the count.
Oh, dang. All right.
Now here we
Falco
go.
has been bullying the Snake the entire time. Let's see if Snake can handle a 2v1 again.
Yeah, this is not looking good for him right off the bat here.
We're seeing a lot of grabs from Falco. He's probably trying to get Snake off edge, as that's where he shines the most.
They're trying to set up a nice 2v1 situation where they can put Snake into a nice team combo and likely a kill confirm now that Terry has go.
Yeah, when Terry has go, he can do a bunch of different inputs that have a lot of powerful and high launch damage, which can easily kill Snake in probably one hit if he gets it lucky.
Especially at such a high damage percent like this. 91, even something as simple as a powerful jab combo might kill here.
That's true. But same goes for Terry. I mean, he's at 158. That's a huge percentage. I'm surprised he stayed in
Falco's
this
trying
long.
his best to stay out of the way and apply some support for his teammates, since he knows if he gets hit by that Power Geyser or Terry's Buster Wolf, he's done for. And
Yeah.
at this point in the match, losing even a single stock could be a huge detriment. Any advantage Snake can get right now.
Dang!
What we predicted has come to pass. Falco's hit by his own teammates' Power Geyser, putting Snake in a slightly higher advantage, even though he's still struggling in a 1v2 situation with a 4-stock disadvantage.
But it seems like Falco's going to be going off in the back.
And the Snake manages to land a down throw combo into that up tilt.
That was a good combo, getting him straight off. Now it's pretty even. They're both down. Oh, actually, Falco's down to 1 stock, which means that if Snake can get rid of Falco, Terry will be by himself with Snake. Let's see if he tries to do that.
Actually, what the Snake should be going for here is trying to get rid of that Terry as quickly as possible, because if Falco gets defeated, I know for a fact that he is going to respawn, that he's going to use his teammate's stock to respawn himself, and any moment you are in a 2v1 is a dangerous situation. So what's Snake's primary objective here should be to get rid of Terry's stock as quickly as possible.
That's a good point, but it seems like
he's going to get edge guarded right here. They've got both of them applying pressure at ledge. And
And-
Terry's command input into that up special manages to take him into the top blast zone.
all right.
That puts Fort Calhoun at 2-0 and the winners of this match.
Man, that was a steal right there.
I mean,
Fort Calhoun
I'm
put so much pressure
that
on
was an
Lincoln High.
unfortunate match. That was an unfortunate setup for those two, in all honesty.
But I feel like they handled it pretty well. The Snakes survived long enough. That way you could handle on the Falco and the Terry, which means that they still got enough stocks down, which is pretty impressive for a Snake in a 2v1 situation, which is super impressive in of its own. All right, so we're going to get ready for the second match right now, but it's going to be a bit as the players need to get ready. All right, we are in the new match, and it seems like they picked DK and Robin against Incineroar and Joker. Seems like they're doing a heavyweight and a lightweight combo so far. Incineroar with the grab, getting the DK off ledge. Robin trying to, oh, DK with a spike on the Incineroar off stage. And that is one less stock for green team. Joker with the Arsene. Arsene is an ability that Joker has that makes him a lot faster and stronger, especially when attacking opponents. It is a huge advantage for him. But it seems like the Robin will completely ignore this and rake up some good percentage against him. But Joker with the kill against Robin, and it seems like the stocks are pretty tied until the Incineroar killed himself. Incineroar doing some pressure against the Robin, whereas the DK is doing some pressure against the Joker. But the Joker is lighter and faster than the Donkey Kong, so we'll probably see an easy kill from the Joker. Incineroar with the counter, and now he is buffed up. Let's see if he can kill this Donkey Kong. And he does.
Man, lands that side B and times it perfectly with revenge. For those who don't quite understand, Incineroar is a very unique counter, unlike most characters where he just takes, where instead of reflecting the damage he does to an opponent does to him, he instead takes half of the damage and then uses the remaining damage to buff his next attack, which can be a huge advantage whenever he's at a higher damage cost. But it looks like none of that even matters because he's already down for the count.
And Incineroar with the steal from Joker stock. That proves to be not the greatest plan since Joker died immediately from a DK spike off stage. Let's see if the Incineroar can make a good comeback. Yeah.
I don't know if what we've seen here today is any indication. It seems like these two players are very good at ledge trapping and then keeping their opponents off stage and landing a pretty effective kill strategy right now.
All right, let's see. Joker is holding off on his laser beam. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Robin is holding off on his laser beam. I'm sorry, folks. And he
kills his teammate. That's the kind of thing that happens. This is why we play with. This is why I always thought it was so interesting that we decide to play with team attack on and then off.
Well, it makes more sense, you know. That way an opponent can't be reckless while their teammate is in the way. They have to be strategic about it. It makes more sense because then you can't just have a powerhouse making a bunch of random explosive moves without hurting his opponent, because then it would be a huge disadvantage to the other team. And vice versa.
Yeah, you can't risk having a team
just be a bunch
on each other like that.
Yeah, it can't just be everyone playing a bunch of explodey and powerful characters.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be too much chaos, which makes more sense. Whereas now you have to be strategic with it. Robin can be strategic with it. The only problem is that it still can affect your teammate.
It's a very big hit. It's a very big hitbox against a very big character.
Yeah, let's see if the Robin can fix their mistake from last match. And
Incineroar juggling that Donkey Kong all the way up to 40%. Skutt here is a very big lead right off the bat.
Yeah, they're definitely doing way better than the last match. But let's see if Omaha Central can bring it back around.
We saw last match. Their ledge gameplay is very good. So even if they get to a higher percent, if they manage to get a few early kills off stage, that can be huge for them.
That DK is really good at down spikes, especially off stage. He will get you down and out immediately, no matter what percentage you are. But it seems like the DK isn't doing good so far. He's taking a lot of damage, but that's not bad for a heavyweight like him. He can take it.
And especially since there's also that other Smash gameplay mechanic known as Rage, which means that the more damage you've accumulated throughout the course of the battle, the more damage and launcher attacks are going to be doing, making it much easier for you to both be killed at higher percent and also defeat an opponent while they're at a lower percent.
All right. Looks like the Incineroar finally killed the DK, but the DK has been juggling that Incineroar off stage, but it seems like the Incineroar got out of it and launches DK into the air, going into more aerial combos. Let's see if the Incineroar will get a kill. No, but that's definitely some crazy percentage.
Joker over here really putting the pressure on Robin, but she seems more than capable of getting out of it.
And Incineroar with a lucky kill. Not luck, I'm sorry. With some skillful precision in getting DK out of here.
Joker's down due to that Robin's up air. I'm surprised she managed to land that without hurting her teammate too bad.
That is very surprising. But what's nice is that was Robin's first stock. So
Donkey Kong lands his neutral beam, vaporizing that Incineroar before he gets the chance to land.
yeah, Donkey Kong's neutral B is very powerful and very chaotic, especially if you get more than one person into it. It can kill at I wouldn't say very low percentage, but
It can
mediocre
kill pretty, It can kill
percentage.
pretty early. It's essentially a chargeable smash attack that you can just carry with you at all times.
which is really useful, but you need to get it in a good
And
situation.
Incineroar manages to stage spike Donkey Kong with his counter.
But it seems like Donkey Kong took a spike from his partner Robin. Not a bad decision, but let's see if it plays out well. Joker with the Arsene doing some good damage onto that Robin. And Incineroar with that up special into Donkey Kong did not get the explosion
if Joker
damage
can
off.
pull this off right now, Robin's as good as dead. Any stray hit against Robin right now would be enough to send him right into there.
And Robin is done. Incineroar with a side special for the win. Joker.
Both the teammates on stage right now trying to edgeguard the Incineroar, but Joker would end up losing the stock anyway. And Incineroar counters straight into his forward air, putting in the last nail in the coffin.
Man, that was a good comeback right there from the Incineroar after the first match. He did kind of struggle, but it wasn't too bad. And now he brought it back in the second round.
All right,
That was some pretty good gameplay right there.
This brings us to a 1v1, and we're finally here in the last match.
All right, let's see if the Incineroar can keep that nice win streak he had going, and let's see if the Joker can be a good side partner.
There were some good changes over there on both teams. Everyone learned and adapted and changed their play style to get around their opponents. And that match was a lot closer than the ones before. So we're going to see where this goes into this last match.
All right, seems like Donkey Kong is switching it up to Bowser. Bowser is
The
I would-
heaviest character in the game.
he is very heavy, which also means that he is a huge powerhouse. He'll be taking a lot of damage and he'll be exerting a lot of damage. The only problem is his recovery will be very bad. So let's see if the Joker can juggle him and get him off stage.
Seems like
That's gonna
Bowser's
be
going to cook him instead. He's managing to put some very good ledge pressure against him. It manages to break the Incineroar shield.
Oh, that's bad because now the
Joker
Robin.
manages to hit his teammate out of it before they can do any major damage to him.
Nice.
So I guess that paid out. Joker already
That was a
got
good save from
Arsene
the
at
Joker.
54%.
Yeah, you know, because Joker in his not
Here
Arsene
we go,
form
this
has
is
an
it.
ability to charge Arsene at a faster rate than he
Bowser
normally would, which means he can definitely get Arsene at a very low percentage if he uses it correctly.
And Robin is the first stock down, taken out by Incineroar. Bowser tries to go for the down B spike, but manages to kill it himself instead.
And dang. Joker going for the poison against the Incineroar. My bad. Going against the Bowser. And it seems to be pretty useful as it deals continuous damage without actually having to do any damage himself to it. Seems like the
Joker
Bowser.
gets absolutely launched into the blast zone, leaving only Incineroar, and he's gone too. Bowser, man. He can die pretty easily, but he can also do a ton of chaos on the battlefield.
He
They
can.
be an amazing 2v2 partner.
He's doing a grab after grab, and it seems to be working. That Joker and Incineroar are taking some. They're getting their
taking some
percentage up
pretty
there.
heavy hits there.
They are, but the Incineroar with the counter taking less damage than he would have.
And manages to knock Bowser out of commission and Robin both at the same time.
That was some good
is
gameplay right there.
crazy.
But let's see, Bowser with the grab, and he slams him into the ground. But Incineroar got away. He grabs the Joker, and the exact same thing happens, but Joker gets his Arsene
Joker
now
has
because of
Arsene
it.
now. That's a very dangerous position for Bowser. If he gets pushed off stage, he might already have lost.
See, but here's the thing. Joker can be a bit more reckless now that he has Arsene.
And he managed to hit the Incineroar with the down special, but Bowser gets knocked off stage and countered off stage.
All
If
right.
Joker can finish this off right now, Bowser's as good as done.
Bowser's
There it
gone, all right.
is. Robin's all by herself
Robin.
with only one stock remaining against Skutt's 3.
Robin's going for that super powerful lightning charge attack, but Incineroar is not giving her a chance to do it. Joker going off stage.
going off
Let's
stage for
see
the
what
little edge yard.
happens. Got him
Is he gonna manage
away.
to stop him right there? No.
Nope.
Neither of their attacks managed to land, and the Joker ends up being knocked out by his own teammate.
which is all right for Joker because he has another stock. But now it's pretty even.
Joker runs up in Arsene guards, in Rebels guards, building up his Arsene meter quite a bit. It's already almost at full, and he's only at 22%.
But Robin might get out faster than you thought she would because Robin is at a very high percentage and is losing magical power.
She's making the most of this confusing 2v1 situation, though. Skutt's teamwork seems to be at a disadvantage right now, which, never mind, doesn't even matter. Incineroar lanes the F tilt, and Robin gets vaporized instantly. Man,
Dang.
kind of an anticlimactic finish to such an intense battle.
But let's be honest, that was a nice win right there
That
for
was
Skutt
a
Catholic.
very nice win. Skutt Catholic, congratulations. That was very impressive.
And good job to you too, Omaha Central, especially that Robin right there. You held out pretty well in the end.
All right, next up, which match?
All right, the players are getting ready for the next match, and the next match will be up against excuse me, but give us a second to get this going. All right, match 3 is going to be Fort Calhoun against Skutt Catholic. And I am sorry to say to the people back home, but we were wrong in our scoring in the first match. Fort Calhoun actually lost against Lincoln High. But let's see if they can make a comeback against Skutt Catholic. They had some pretty good gameplay in the first round, Fort Calhoun, but Skutt Catholic did get the win in the second round. So let's see what's going to happen. All right, looks like they're going with the same characters from last round. Fort Calhoun going with the King K. Rool and Snake combo, whereas Skutt Catholic is going for that Incineroar and Joker combo.
It worked pretty well for them last round. Let's see if they can keep up the pace.
That is true, but let's see.
Looks like they're doing a change in stage. I wonder what they're going to pick.
But let's be honest, bro. Joker has the advantage here because Snake and King K. Rool are both heavies, whereas Joker is a light, which means he'll be faster and able to get more damage off of the King K. Rool and Snake much faster.
Joker is very famous for being a tank destroyer like that, especially against characters with very easily read easily read recoveries like K. Rool.
That is true. K. Rool has a great recovery, but it is very obvious what he's doing and when he is doing it.
And Joker's offstage gameplay is so effective and precise that...
Especially below stage, because he can easily just wipe you right off the map.
Exactly. It's not hard for Joker to take the advantage when his opponent is off stage.
He's been going more for that forward aerial instead of that down spike, which isn't a bad idea because it's definitely been getting some kills off lately. All right. Seems like that they picked Kalos Pokemon League. And let's see if it pays off for him. Incineroar will have somewhat of a disadvantage here.
Here we go for a second of the match. They're all right in the center holding the chaos. Incineroar manages to push Snake off stage. Both of Skutt's players managing to push their opponents off stage.
And King K. Rool with the counter against Joker. Not too bad. He definitely did a tiny bit of damage, but it wasn't enough to phase him. Snake going with the grenade combo, going up high in the air and dropping a bunch of bombs on the battlefield. It seems to be somewhat working. It's an easy distraction to get his opponents off of the ledge. That way, King K. Rool can get back on with no problem. But it seems like that does not apply to Joker because King K. Rool and Snake, are both at very high percentage, whereas Incineroar and Joker are not. Let's see if Joker with the Arsene can get that kill off the King K. Rool. He cannot.
Skutt's applying a lot of pressure right now, and there it is. Joker manages to take Snake out of commission. Let's see what happens to this K. Rool. He's still hanging on. I'm surprised he survived this long. This just goes to show how effective heavyweights are in a 2v2 setting. They can take a ton of damage and even get up to these crazy high percents like 174. You don't see most players making it that high up.
That's true, but Joker with the back grab and
tries to
doesn't work.
Tries to edge guard the K. Rool, but it didn't seem effective. He shoots him into his teammate, trying to just get his opponent in disadvantage. And K. Rool gets grabbed by Incineroar and thrown right off there.
they aren't at too much of a disadvantage because Incineroar and Joker are both at high percentage now. But Snake is also at a high percentage. Let's see if he can do some nice support play and get King K. Rule the... Oh, dang. King K. Rule
King
off
K.
the
Rool
map.
fell off the stage. He just SD'd right just like that. I can't believe it.
But Joker...
Incineroar lands as another revenge F-Air, and that manages to put Snake down onto his last stock.
Snake
Skutt's
throwing
got
out the
a-
grenades, and Incineroar going straight through it. He does not care about the damage. He's going in for that attack.
Skutt has a 5-stock advantage right now, and Incineroar, man, he's not a big heavyweight by any traditional means, but even he seems to be hanging on up to the super close to this 100%. But I guess he gets gimped by his own partner, and he's out for the count.
Yep.
Snake tries to recover by blowing himself up, which would have launched him upwards, but he didn't have enough time. That's it. That first game goes straight to Skutt.
That was some pretty good gameplay for Skutt right there. They're definitely incorporating what they learned from the last match into this match.
Skutt have a very strong showing so far.
Mm-hmm. All right, seems like they're changing up the map again. Let's see what they pick this time.
Since Skutt last, it's up to Fort Calhoun to pick the stage where they could get an advantage. And with these super high, with these ton of projectiles that their characters rely on, it makes sense that they go to a stage like Town and City.
Yeah, Town and City is a really good spot.
Really good stage for, it's a very large stage, but it's also a very flat stage. There's not a lot of, the platforms move in and out of the stage periodically, making it very easy to land very big or even slow moving projectiles that can pack a lot of punch.
All right, Skutt Catholic sticking with the same characters like last time, but it seems like Fort Calhoun is going to be switching it up. Let's see who they pick. Sephiroth and Ganondorf. That is something I did not expect to see today.
I didn't expect to see that either. I would have figured they'd choose Town and City for that projectile advantage, but really only Sephiroth has that one projectile that would make use of that wide open space.
That is true, but Ganondorf has a lot of kill power.
Ganondorf does have a lot of kill power, and then on the stage with such narrow side hitboxes, it could seem like they're going for a glass cannon strategy where they're just going to go for the super early kills as quickly as possible.
Seems like Joker's juggling the Sephiroth so far. Sephiroth taking a lot of damage, but he counteracts. Sephiroth is one of the most ridiculous characters because he has one of the longest swords in the game.
Not just one of the longest, he has the longest sword in the game, making him a menace against characters with stubby hitboxes.
And especially when he uses his up special or his up smash, it has so much reach. It's a crazy good weapon to use in battle. But let's see if the Joker can get him out of here. And he does. Joker with the Arsene kill. Sephiroth is down. But Incineroar
Incineroar's looking
got
good
the
for
Joker
himself.
off stage, and the Joker,
The Ganondorf is down.
my bad.
Joker
Ganondorf
remains
down.
the only one with all 3 stocks, and he's at a very low percent to show for it as well. Only at 51 now.
But the Incineroar is also at high percentage and looks like he's going to be going down to his last and final stock. Same as the Sephiroth, who just got bodied by the Incineroar. But let's see, Ganondorf has been doing pretty solid against the Incineroar so far. Let's see if he can get another stock off. Incineroar with the bomber dive, and he landed it on Ganondorf. But Ganondorf with the down
with a
spike.
down air, he's gonna try to go. He's gonna look for the kill, but is he gonna find it? Nope. He gets thrown off stage by Incineroar, and he gets the forward air right.
Let's go.
Incineroar right into the top blast.
Joker
Sephiroth finishes off
and
the Joker.
Incineroar down at the exact same time. And Sephiroth.
Sephiroth's down for the count. Now
But
it's
let's
back
see
to
here.
this good old 2v1.
Can the Ganondorf handle all the pressure that is with him?
They
Nope.
go for the restock. They're switching out of that 2v1 and making it a 2v2 yet again.
Let's see here. If they can get rid of that Incineroar, then it'll be a 2v1.
If Ganondorf can hold off the opponents for just long enough for Sephiroth to charge up a Giga Flare, maybe they have a chance at winning this one.
Well, let's go. Ganondorf with a lot of swords, throwing it out there. He's been doing a lot of forward smashes, and it seems to be working pretty well.
Both teammates from Fort Calhoun seem to be working well together to try and protect each other, but ultimately it would appear it's not enough. And Ganondorf gets thrown right off stage for his last and final stock.
But let's go. Sephiroth with a nice up special towards the Joker, but it does not appear to be useful. He did get some damage off, but it was not enough to kill.
And at 97%, everybody's got a lot of rage right now. That means it's going to be real easy for Joker to jump and land that back air. That's
Yep.
it.
That's one of Joker's best moves right there, especially off stage.
Skutt takes the second game.
And Skutt also wins the match. We are now going into match 4. And let's see who we are going to be watching.
Who's up next? Looks like we have Omaha Central versus Lincoln High.
All right. We got one winning team against one losing team. Omaha Central did do pretty good. I mean, they still lost, but it was a pretty good battle against Skutt Catholic. And Lincoln High did lose. Oh, wait. Lincoln High won. That's
Lincoln
my
High
bad.
won against Fort Calhoun.
Lincoln High did win against
So
Fort
we're going to
Calhoun.
see. I feel like this is going to end up being a very even match, but let's see how this goes.
Let's see. They're switching up again, so let's figure out which one they're going to be doing this time. Seems like a small battlefield. Nope, they're switching it up. All right. And they are sticking with Town and City. All right. Let's see. Will they switch their characters from last time? Nope, there's...
Perhaps they're switching stages?
Or maybe they want to switch music choices, you know? A good song while you are playing will help a lot.
I mean, I could...
Personally, it helps a lot when you get a good jam going on, especially in a high-stake match like this.
I mean, some might chalk that up to superstition, but I can agree with that. Having just the right song you need can actually change the effect of the match, but it doesn't even look like it matters since they're going with the same stuff.
Same song and same stage. All right. Let's see. Will Omaha Central stick with the same characters as last time? All right, they're doing Falco and Terry again. They picked those dudes last time, and it was a pretty effective combo, especially against Fort Calhoun.
Omaha Central seems to be struggling with their character selection, but it looks like they're going to end up going with Incineroar and Terry. Maybe
Not
not.
a bad combination right there.
That's not a bad combination. They're both heavyweights. They both deal a ton of damage.
But Terry and Incineroar both have a lot of explosive power, so if they can handle it without hitting each other, that would be really effective.
That's going to be the key to their success here. And here we go, starting things off. Right off the bat, it seems like Lincoln High is really setting the tone here.
All right, Lincoln High's Terry is doing a lot of damage up against that Incineroar, whereas the Falco is doing a lot of damage against its Terry.
Manages to take him out just like that. Lincoln High manages to take down both Omaha Central's first stocks right off the bat.
With Falco doing a lot of aerial combos, which is what he's good with. But so is Incineroar right now, juggling that Falco. That was like 4, 3, somewhere around there. That was like 3 hits right there, man. That was pretty crazy. But Falco going with the aerial combos yet again.
We're back in neutral.
Terry going in for those combos against the other Terry. A Terry and Terry battle. Now that's very interesting. Especially since one Terry has go and the other does not. Let's see if... Nope.
Falco lands that up smash and he's done for. And jumps right up there, lands that up air, and Incineroar's down to their last stock. Looks like we're back down to this 6 stock advantage versus 2 stocks. It's not looking good for Omaha Central right now.
Yep, Lincoln High has been keeping all their stocks the entire time. And Terry from Lincoln High finally got his go. So let's see some of that dangerous and powerful damage he's been hiding.
Goes for the Buster Wolf, but doesn't manage to connect.
All right. And Terry is down. Lincoln High Terry's down. Let's see if they can get the Falco. Terry going for some aerial combos. Doesn't work.
The chaos ensues, man. Terry lands that side special and takes down Falco once again.
Finally.
This go is going to be...
That Falco has been staying in a long time. He's really good at living and really good at killing. He just got rid of Omaha Central's Terry. So now the Incineroar is all by himself at a high percentage. Let's see if he can make a good comeback.
Tossed right into the up smash, and that's it for that one.
That was a good combo right there.
That was a very good team combo.
This Falco and Terry combination seems to be really good at taking care of each other.
Yeah, they work well together as a team. They seem to mesh well.
They do seem to mesh really well, especially since that Falco takes all the kills. He's got that good aerial combos, especially off stage, whereas the Terry deals most of the damage and leads it to the Falco.
And he's also got that great on-stage coverage, especially when he gets go and has both Power Geyser, which has just a massive hitbox.
That is true. If Terry can get up to go and it still has 3 stocks, that is a huge advantage for him. All right, looks like Omaha Central is switching up their characters. They're going with a Bowser and Robin combo.
I feel like Bowser's a very risky move here. He may be a heavyweight character, but both Terry and Falco are very good with combos.
That is true. Falco can easily demolish that Bowser if he gets him into an aerial combo. But the thing is, the map has changed. They are on Pokemon Stadium now. So let's see. Will Omaha Central get an advantage here? Seems not likely, as the
Bowser's
Incineroar
down
died
already.
immediately from the Falco.
We've got some touch and go.
Is doing pretty good, the Falco especially. He's been doing a lot of aerial combos against that Bowser. And he does his up special right into the Bowser.
Terry manages to parry Bowser's down B, which would otherwise have been a huge shield break.
Falco down spikes the Robin, but it did not appear to do enough damage to kill.
Terry lands the F smash, knocking both opponents off stage. The Robin's down, but Bowser's only in disadvantage. He manages to get back on stage.
The Bowser is at huge disadvantage right now. He is down to 2 stocks and high percentage. It's not looking too good for him, and now he is down to 1 stock. It is 3 against 6 right now. Omaha Central is having a bit of a struggle against this Falco and Terry combination, especially the Falco switching up his strategy
Falco
right
lands
now.
2 spikes and gets Robin down to their last stock. Here we are back at this 3v2 situation.
Yeah, that Falco, he switched it up at the right time to be doing that. Instead of going for a forward A, he went down. He just started doing some down
airs?
My bad.
Down
Yep,
airs.
down
Yeah,
airs.
okay.
Whoops.
Looks like Terry loses his first stock. Advantage is still in Lincoln High's favor.
Falco still with 3 stocks and getting into some good juggles with that Robin. But Robin with the down spike onto the Terry. Terry's now at high percentage, almost at 100, which means he will attain go, which is pretty good for him, but also bad at the same time because he will be at a high percentage. Not too bad since the Robin and the Bowser both are at 1 stock. But still, you can't take chances.
Bowser
in
manages
this
to take
area
Terry's
like
second
this.
stock. Looks like they're pulling it together here at the very end.
That
but
is
will it be
true.
enough? They're still at that 1 stock disadvantage. They've still 4-2, but let's see what happens here in these last
Well,
seconds
let's see
of the
here.
match.
If they can get Falco out of the way, I know that he has 3 stocks, but what's nice is he's at high percentage. So, yep, Falco's down.
Falco's down, and
Robin
hits her
accidentally
teammate.
kills their teammate. Dang. And
the
Falco with
Nair
the... Oh,
doesn't
no.
quite finish the job, but let's see here. They've got all options covered. Falco managed to land that last up smash for the final win, for the final hit, resulting in
Lincoln
the
High's win.
for Lincoln High.
That was some pretty good gameplay there with Lincoln High. I mean, switching up the tactic in the second round against that Robin, now that was a good change right there.
Yeah, they managed to pull it. They managed to almost pull it together in the end, but unfortunately it was just too little, too late.
Yeah, no. He pulled it out in the end, but he lost too many stocks at the beginning.
Here we go, moving into match 5. We have Omaha Central versus Fort Calhoun.
All right, let's go. Omaha Central and Fort Calhoun haven't had the best of starts so far. But what's nice is the fact that they can go on a pretty even playing ground right now. So let's see who's going to win. All right, looks like they're going with the Donkey Kong and Robin combo instead of the Bowser and Robin combo, which is pretty interesting, especially coming from Omaha Central. But it seems like Fort Calhoun is changing up their entire strategy
Hero
by adding
and
Hero
Wolf.
and Wolf.
Interesting. See, the thing is, Hero, man, we we could sit here and talk for hours about how weird Hero is as a character.
Especially. But what's nice is they're doing Wolf, which isn't bad. he's a lot like Falco, so if they can use him like Falco, they'll have some pretty good advantage.
The only difference is that Wolf has significantly worse recovery, right?
Yep, but what's nice is what he lacks in recovery, he gains in power. He can get some heavy hits in.
Especially for such a small character, that's a major advantage.
That's true. Plus, he's pretty fast in of his own, being a Star Fox character. Seems like stuff's getting pretty even so far. They're all at a pretty high percentage except for the Robin.
He's
but
managing to stay
getting up
relatively weak. And Wolf lands the forward smash to get Donkey Kong out, but almost kills his teammate.
there in the
Doesn't
process.
quite, but Hero's still up, and only to get smacked
Donkey
in
Kong
by
with that nice kill.
nice forward air, yeah.
But Wolf with
Hero does the kamikaze. It deals a ton of damage, but it actually kills him in the process. It dealt a ton of damage to Donkey Kong, though. He's already at 126.
I don't know if that was worth it though.
It
Got him up there, but it
got
didn't
him up there,
kill.
and the Hero just lands that kaboom and gets Robin down. If they can keep this up, Hero might actually end up managing to buy his Wolf teammate enough time to finish up the job.
And there we go, Wolf with a down smash. Wolf with a down smash, killing that DK. Anyways, Robin is doing some considerable damage against that Joker. Juggling, my bad. Doing against Wolf. Getting some good combos up against that Wolf.
Looks like Hero's managing to keep Donkey Kong off stage, but he can't hold on to it for much longer. Nope, launches him back to center.
And then Robin accidentally hits Donkey Kong. It didn't deal that much damage, but still effective.
Both hanging out. They did the reflector parry. They shot the reflectors at each other so that way it would amplify the damage of the projectile and defeat Robin.
Now that's a good strategy
Hero's
right there.
down. And Wolf is stuck in a 2v1, but not for much longer since Hero takes his teammate stock and comes in for the final fight.
Let's see if that will
That strategy
help.
can pay out. Hero came back with a full mana bar, and if he can use his down special to his maximum limit, he can pull this out. He can pull out this win pretty effectively.
Let's see. Wolf
So long as
Calhoun
Wolf doesn't get
the
bullied
win.
by the Robin.
Before Calhoun get that win, switching up their characters seems
We're
to
gonna
be a
see.
pretty good strategy right now. Especially since
Wolf
the
has the
DK
opportunity
is
he
at
needs
high
to finish off the
percentage.
DK,
Nope.
but the
Robin
Robin
gets
manages
him
to land
out.
the forward air and finish the job. Hero might be able to pull this out if he uses his specials in an effective manner.
Ooh, that was pretty good right there, using up his MP though. But he's all the way back to 90, so that's pretty good. So what's nice about Hero is you see all these weird special abilities he's doing, right? Yeah, something like
Oh,
that
he
where he
shrunk
brought
himself.
up Hocus Pocus. Yeah. That uses up magic power. And whereas the magic power makes him be able to use these cool special abilities that can switch up, which is
And he goes
really
for the
bad.
kamikaze. He decided, you know what? If we're going to lose this match, it's going to be on my standards. Here's not letting them get the satisfaction of taking that last stock.
I feel kind of bad for the Hero. He was doing pretty well there in the end, and I don't think kamikaze was the best option. He could have
He might have been
made
able to win
it
that
if
match.
he had. He could have, but it was his choice. So let's see. Will Omaha Central pick the same characters, or will they switch it up?
Looks like we're going for different characters on
Dang, Fort Calhoun is switching up their
Fort
characters
Calhoun.
yet again.
Ganondorf or Ridley. Two very good heavyweights. The only difference being that Ridley is he's a pretty heavy character, but he's also a lot better off stage than most heavyweights.
That is true, which is also very surprising considering that Ridley's up special really isn't the greatest.
No, it's not, but simply because the fact that he has multiple jumps as opposed to most characters who only have two, it can be a pretty big advantage if you can use it properly. But
Unless
it
he
looks like
gets-
Donkey Kong's going to land that spike right off the bat and finish him off, getting an early kill right off the bat.
Good part on Donkey Kong, but Ganondorf coming in with the juggles against
Ganondorf's
that Donkey
cooking
Kong.
right now. This
Yeah.
is some pretty impressive
He's getting into a lot of aerial gameplay right now, but dang.
Gets spiked by the Donkey Kong, and he's got another early kill.
Donkey Kong with the spikes today. Get rid of Hero. Hero is now on playing level with Ganondorf, and
Ridley's down for the count once again, all the way back down to his last stock, but he manages to get Donkey Kong out of the picture. And now, they're now only operating at a one-stock disadvantage. This could end up playing out in their favor if they play their cards right.
yep, considering that Ganondorf is getting into some good combos right now. And Ridley's side special, that is a crazy move right
Such
there.
a good command grab.
Grabs the enemy and chucks them all across the stage. Now that's a pretty good move, especially since it has high launch
Ganondorf
power.
goes for the kamikaze move, taking down Donkey Kong with him. They're both down to the last stock. Robin being the only character who has 2 stocks.
All right, let's see. Right there, taken down. Ganondorf taking down that Robin, but it seems like
Donkey Kong dragged Ridley down to the blast zone with him and manages to make the recovery. Ganondorf's on his own for this last section of the match. Only down at 1 stock, already at a super high percent.
he's doing pretty well.
And he gets
but
edge guarded by the
Kong,
Donkey Kong neutral B.
that is a crazy move right there. It can kill at such a low percentage, and he used it in the air. Ganondorf.
Unfortunately, that seals the victory for Omaha Central.
Yep. Sorry, Fort Calhoun. But now let's get on to that main event.
This last match, we'll take a short break real quick, and we'll be right back for this last match in this tournament.
And we're back.
Here we go, into the last match, Lincoln High versus Skutt Catholic.
Both of these schools have been really well so far, especially Skutt Catholic with no losses so far. Yep, and along with Lincoln High. Lincoln High has not lost a match either, so let's see who's going to be the all-time reigning champ.
This is effectively, honestly, what a way to go. These matches were decided beforehand. We didn't know it was going to end up like this. This is, yeah.
All right, but let's see that crazy Falco and Terry game from Skutt Catholic and that ridiculous Joker and Incineroar game from Lincoln High. It has been working out pretty well for Lincoln High so far, but let's see if it can go up against Skutt Catholic's Terry game. I mean, that's crazy. If Falco's going to get you off stage, you're going to have a hard time getting out of it. But that's
Especially
pretty much the
since-
same with Joker as well.
Yeah, we've got a pretty even matchup here, I'd say.
Let's see if the Joker can take care of the Terry, if the Terry's going to take care of the Joker. Seems like the Falco's going to take on the Incineroar, though.
Manages to get him off stage, but can't seal the deal.
Incineroar at a high percentage pretty early in the match.
He's
Falco
already at
doing a lot of
104.
damage.
If Falco can get him off stage right now, he might very well be able to seal away this first stock within the first minute of the match.
Joker with Arsene, though,
Incineroar just made a forward smash and knocked Terry out right off the bat.
which was really nice because they need that advantage. And Terry
Terry
is
down
again.
That's already a huge advantage for Skutt.
Incineroar pulling it out, even though he's at a high percentage right now. But let's see, Joker lost Arsene and is at a high percentage. It's not a great combo for him, and he is out. The same thing will probably happen to Incineroar pretty soon, but let's see if he can hang on a bit longer. Incineroar with the forward smash against the Terry, doing pretty well. Terry's off stage again.
Incineroar's at a very high percent, and he's going up against a Falco who isn't even near where as
Man, it
damaged
is
as
not
he
looking
is.
too good for Terry. Terry almost died there, since his recovery off stage is subpar compared to others like Falco and Joker. But he's managed to get back on. But Terry with the last stock, and he is almost at 100%. Let's see if he can hang on and get Incineroar
Joker
out
goes
of
for
here.
the F smash, but instead gets grabbed by the Falco. Joker's an advantage,
Falco with the up tilt.
and Joker gets Arsene. That's going to be a huge turnaround here for this match. He might be able to finish off Terry before he gets the chance to go.
And now Falco with the poison getting extra damage. That's especially good for the Joker.
Joker tries to go for the counter off stage, but manages to SD instead.
What seems like a good advantage for Lincoln High turns into a huge disadvantage. Now Joker is at 1 stock, Incineroar is at 2 stocks. Falco, surprisingly, has managed to keep all of his stocks so far, and Terry is at
But
1 stock,
Terry manages to land go on the Incineroar and accidentally hits his teammate in the process.
which is pretty good. Now they are at almost even stocks. If the Incineroar can get the Terry out of here, then the Terry will probably take a stock from the Falco to even things up. And then it will be a one stock, it'll be a 1v1.
Terry's cooking with his go right now, landing a ton of Buster Wolf and Power Geyser, even managing to hit his teammate accidentally.
But it seems to be worth it, especially since the Falco has 2 stocks.
Terry goes for the Buster Wolf, but Joker manages to call him out on it.
Let's see, will Joker be able to combo Terry into a KO? But nice job with the Incineroar. He got rid of Falco, which means that if Terry is done, Terry is done. It will be a 2v1.
Got some
Falco will be
great
all by
crowd
himself
control
right now. Well, the Falco is really good at crowd control.
And the
Terry's
Incineroar
got
seems
that
to be pretty good at
explosive
that
power.
as well.
Incineroar is very good at crowd control.
Terry
whereas-
seems capable of holding on to his stock enough to combo that Incineroar into
Oh,
a Buster
dang.
Wolf.
But now it is
now
a
it is a
lightweight
last
against
one.
lightweight. Let's see. Joker at the immediate disadvantage with a very high percentage. But let's see if he can get...
Nope, he gets hit by the back air, and that's it. First match goes to...
Skutt Catholic. Now, I must say, that was pretty close, let's be honest.
That was a very close match.
The
yes.
Incineroar and the Terry both came back after a lot of stocks pretty early. That was super surprising. And of the Terry's part, like down right away, then down after a couple more minutes, and still manages to hold on.
Yeah, they were
and Buster Wolf the Incineroar in the very end.
They were, by all accounts, they should have lost that match. They just got super unlucky right off the bat, but they managed to come back and win the final one and win it right there at the end.
I know. Let's see. Can Lincoln High pull it? Let's see.
Make a comeback. Let's see
Make a
here.
comeback. Pull it.
No change in team composition, but we're going to see how well that pays out.
All right, same map. Let's see, will they do the same thing they chose last time? Will it be Falco against Incineroar, or will it be Joker against Falco? Seems like it's going to be a Joker against a Falco. Pretty smart since they're both fast and versatile.
Looks like
But
sticking to
Falco
same
with the
weight
advantage
class
right now,
matchup.
getting a bunch of aerial combos right off the bat. But Incineroar is doing some devastating damage to that Terry, which is really good. That way one of them is taking damage from Skutt
Falco
Catholic's
managing
team.
to remain fairly
Low in
damageless.
percentage-wise, yeah. But Joker with the Arsene, let's see he can pull it back.
Joker's going to make a comeback right here. All good Joker player needs is a little bit of Arsene charge, and they can make a huge comeback very quickly.
Seems like they be switching it up.
Joker goes for the forward smash, but Falco manages to duck out of the way just in time.
Seems like Joker's going to be taking on the Terry and get him out early since he is almost has go. He is at 99.7%.
Incineroar's down.
If Terry gets to 100%, he will automatically have go, which means that if Joker can handle him off stage, Terry's going to be gone pretty soon.
Incineroar manages to land that side special off.
All right, Incineroar with the kill. Nope. Good back air
Incineroar's
from
going to see if he
Terry.
can take out the Terry.
Good back air from Incineroar. But it wasn't enough to kill the Terry.
Incineroar has the perfect opportunity to finish off Terry, but he doesn't manage to land the kill with that throw.
Terry still going with a very high percentage.
Managing to stay alive even at such a high percentage, because Terry with go is more than enough to take out someone pretty effectively.
And the Joker, both Joker and Terry seem to be, oh, never mind. Just Joker seems to be holding on to his third stock. So far, Lincoln High has the advantage stock-wise.
That doesn't mean Skutt can't make a comeback. We saw it happen last
That
game.
is true. Terry does seem to be pretty good at holding on to go, especially, oh,
Falco managing to land a series of downers that managed to spike Incineroar right into the blast zone.
all right.
Terry
and
manages to take Joker stock, putting them at a slight advantage.
just as Brayden predicted, Lincoln High is now at the disadvantage stock-wise. It is 3 stocks to 4 stocks. Falco is at pretty high percentage, but as we've all seen, he is really good with an aerial combos, so he can definitely keep it going for a while.
Doing very well, managing to hold on to his stocks, but a good read from Incineroar lands that side B and puts Falco down to his last stock.
All right, it's even again. Joker with the Arsene, so that puts them at a bit of an advantage here, especially since Terry doesn't have go
But
yet.
we're going to see here if they don't manage to take Joker out quickly enough. If they don't manage to take out Terry quick enough, excuse me, he's going to get go, and Joker's no longer going to have Arsene.
That is true. Joker lost Arsene. He's now normal. but Terry continues to...
Terry with one good, he's a heavyweight, he should be able to survive that. Now Terry comes into the final match with Go, but Incineroar lands the Nair and pushes him off stage into the blast zone.
That was a good move there.
Lincoln High finally has the stock advantage yet again, only for
to be
Falco
taken
to
away
land the down air.
immediately. And all right, let's go. Incineroar with the clutch
Incineroar's
save.
having trouble off stage. If he can make a comeback right now, maybe he can pull out at least one last kill before he's done for.
If he can get rid of this Falco, Joker can take care of the Terry in a nice 1v1. And Joker would have the advantage being a lightweight.
And having Arsene here coming up very shortly.
Let's see. Can Joker handle playing two characters?
Incineroar gets launched off stage again, but he manages to recover.
This is Incineroar. Everyone here is managing to be very tanky.
Here we
right
are.
now.
Falco and Incineroar down right away.
As we predicted, it seems that Joker has Arsene in the final
Fight
1v1
right up
fight.
against Terry. We're going to see what can happen here. Joker is very good at keeping his opponents at a distance and still managing to operate fairly well, but Terry can do that too, not quite as effective, but he can manage to keep his opponents at a distance long enough for him to build up the slight damage he needs to get Go.
That is true. Joker losing Arsene, but Terry still doesn't have Go, so Joker is doing pretty well so far. But if Joker gets one good hit off of him, Terry will have Go and be in an...
Terry manages to land the back air and seal the victory anyway. That puts that means kind of an anticlimactic finale to this battle, but that puts Skutt at 2, Lincoln High 0, and finishes off this first preliminary round.
Dang, that was super surprising right there, not gonna lie.
Oh, Lincoln High 1-2-0. Oh, we apologize for that. We got the scores wrong yet again. That was Lincoln High 2, Skutt Catholic 0.
Man, we apologize, folks back at home. As you might expect, it is a lot harder to keep track of who is who.
Especially when no one tells us anything, but that's not important. That's not important.
Ignoring that right now. Just some personal.
Anyway, with that set up, we're now going to move into the actual tournament section of this competition.
What you saw just now was a robin round where everyone pretty much got to go against each other, see what it was like.
Set up the seating and get a feel for how each other plays.
Now we're going to go into the actual thing. So don't expect Lincoln High to take the full win. Skutt Catholic did good in of itself. So let's see.
We'll take a quick break while we wait for these results. Welcome back. Here we are moving into the last match. Not the last match. The actual official tourney. This is an elimination bracket. So you lose once, you're immediately sent to the loser's bracket and have to fight it out for 3rd place. The only one who remains undefeated will come out on top here.
That is true, and we're starting off the match today with Fort Calhoun and Lincoln High. Lincoln High going with their signature Falco and Terry match, whereas Fort Calhoun is going with a Wolf and Hero combo. That worked out pretty well for them last time. The only problem is the kamikaze 2 times, you know.
The kamikaze was a little unfortunate, but we'll see if they learn from their mistakes and are going to manage to do a lot better here in this last set.
All right, on Town and City, one of Lincoln High's favorite maps. It's also a pretty all-round. It's a solid map to be going on.
It's
yeah.
especially if Hero can use his projectiles effectively, that could have a huge payout here.
That is true, but it seems like Falco going with his signature aerial combos, and Wolf is out for the count already.
Hero's not looking too good right now. He's up already at 100%.
But let's see, if he does a kamikaze now, it would actually be worth it.
It would be worth it because he might die, but he's gonna end up taking someone out with him. But we'll just have to see. Terry lands his down special combo, and that's it. Hero's down to his second stock.
Hero down for the count, and Falco gets
lands that
another
forward
kill
air.
on Wolf. Solid move on Falco, not the greatest for Wolf, which is fine.
Lincoln High's already at a severe advantage.
Unless, nope. Falco makes an easy recovery and starts immediately aerial comboing
Terry
that
launching
wall.
that team combo. Hero tried his best to get Terry out, but he didn't manage to make the cut.
Juggling each other
Hero
off
hits
stage.
his teammate out of there.
Dang.
And Hero's down to his last stock.
All right, Hero kind of wasting his magic power at the moment, but let's see if he's saving for something good.
They're going into the team combos. Hero's in a very tricky
Let's see
spot.
if he could get heal or bounce off right now. That
Manages
would
to
be
parry
really
and dodge out of
useful.
Terry's way, and he doesn't even. He's refusing to get hit by that Buster Wolf, despite how many times that Terry's going to keep trying. Here's looking to be okay right now, but if he can manage, yep, Terry throws him right into
One of their
Falco's charged up smash, but he doesn't manage
Hero
to
doesn't
die. He's
die.
still back. He's
Nice.
still back. Only
But
long
he
enough
does
to
get
hit
killed by
Falco's
Falco's
back air.
aerial. Of course, Falco's aerial. It has such good kill percentage.
Yeah, it's a very good move. I'll admit that.
Falco, I mean, he's just so light and so fast.
He is in that jump height, too. He is very good at maneuvering in the air, which, I mean, makes sense because he's a bird and all, but, you know.
Wow. Shocking. All right, moving on to second match. Picking the same stage once again. Let's see if Fort Calhoun's going to switch up their strategy this time.
Of course, Lincoln High going with their tried and true Falco and Terry combo that won them the last match.
I mean, they do got some solid combos with each other. I mean, Terry going for that forward grab, whereas Falco goes into the forward up special. Not forward up special. Into his
The
up
forward throw
smash
into the up
attack.
smash,
Yep,
yeah.
that's the one I'm looking
Looks
for.
like they're going back to Ganondorf and Ridley.
Oh, if he does not pick Ridley, I'm going to be so happy.
What do you have against Ridley, huh? Okay, Ganondorf
fact
and
that-
King DDD. That's
Okay, that's better.
interesting. We haven't
King
seen them play
DDD.
King DDD yet. Let's see if they've got some secret switch that they've flipped or something.
Ridley's not bad. It's just the way that he got demolished like last time.
Yeah, that was
You
true.
want to see Fort Calhoun doing good, and let's see if DDD can bring that.
We know Ganondorf can cook in the right situation, but let's see if he's able to get out of this Falco combo right off the bat.
And he did not. Oh, no. Yep. Yep, there we go.
Managed
Ganondorf
to get
getting
out.
out
He's
of it.
back on center
Here we
stage.
go. King DDD doing some solid damage against that Terry, but Terry doing even better damage against him.
Manages to spike the Falco and puts him in disadvantage, but just enough to hit his own teammate.
All right, let's see here. Can Ganondorf get back on stage? Nope, he is down. Falco getting an immediate kill off Ganondorf once again. All right, King DDD doing some damage. Yep, there we go.
Managing
That's
to
what
stay
we're looking
alive
for.
well enough.
All right, they're getting some good. King DDD, he's doing some solid damage against both characters right now. But Terry getting him into a combo. Yep, that might be it for King D. Yep, King
And
DDD
Ganondorf
down.
gets knocked
He's
out an
out.
early percent. But DDD manages to land an up smash and takes down Falco too.
That's nice. All right, Terry, he's almost at go. Let's see if
One more
Ganondorf
hit's
can get.
all he needs, and he's got it. Terry is go. Now there's nothing that can stop him.
All right, let's see here. Can he get a good solid spike off? Yes, he
Ganondorf
can.
manages that up air, and that manages to take out
That
Terry.
was a great attack from Ganondorf, but let's see if he can get back on stage and get some more damage off.
DDD's down to his last stock. They're already at a 2-4 disadvantage.
All right, let's see here. Will Ganondorf make an easy comeback? It's going to be a struggle for him, but if he can get some solid hits off, then they'll get into a good advantage.
Let's see if they can't take down Falco right here. He's at the highest. He's at the highest percent. If they want to win this, never mind. Wow,
Yeah,
that was crazy. Falco manages to make the best of a confusing situation and takes down Ganondorf with a back air.
Falco going all the way off the map. That way you can't even see him. And yet, still attacking Ganondorf. That way he would die. That was a risky move right there from Falco, but it seemed to work out just fine. All right, Omaha for Calhoun is. Wait, is this? Yeah, this is for Calhoun still.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm just switching their characters.
Switching characters with.
Let's see. A Lucas and Ness combination. Oh my freaking gosh, that's gonna be crazy if they do that. An Olimar Ditto. That's something I haven't seen yet. This will be interesting.
Guess not. We'll just have to sit and wait and see what happens.
Lincoln High going for that signature Falco and Terry combo. Not surprising, let's be honest. It's been working out pretty well for him so far. Pokemon Trainer going with Charizard out right off the bat. That's not bad right there, actually. It's pretty solid. Especially, Charizard's not bad. But let's be honest, Ivysaur's better. He just has more combos.
Yeah, okay.
Plus, he's got the grappling hook, technically. You know, he's got the vine so he can grab onto the stage.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
What, you think Charizard's better than Ivysaur?
No, it's just that Ivysaur gets a lot of hype for being quote-unquote the best part of Pokemon Trainer's kit, but I don't know if that's necessary.
I like Squirtle better. I'm more of a Squirtle type of guy, but anyways, seems like Fort Calhoun is settling on Joker and Byleth. That isn't a bad combination right there, especially with Byleth. Byleth's got a lot of reach and a lot of damage potential, so let's see if they can at least pull off some of its moves. All right, going into a grab from Byleth against the Terry. Going into some pretty good aerial combos. Getting a solid attack off of Falco and Terry. That's pretty good. This Byleth has been doing good so far. Been doing a lot better than anyone else they played so far. And the Joker's really good at setting up for Falco to get hit by Byleth. Because so far it's been Byleth taking care of the Terry and Joker taking care of the Falco. But Joker keeps hitting the Falco into Byleth. So that way Byleth can get Joker and Terry at the same time.
Byleth manages to take the first stock with a well-placed F smash.
Alright, let's see here. Byleth taking care of most of the team. Byleth is doing pretty good so far.
Falco goes for the downer and manages to hit Joker out.
Right off stage, but let's see, can Byleth get a kill off of Falco and give him the advantage?
Byleth is
Instead,
down.
it's Falco who gets the kill off Byleth. But let's see.
He's going for the off-stage kill. Joker won't be able to recover from that one. He's down to his last stock.
Dang. All right, Byleth, let's see. Byleth might take care of Terry.
Byleth's going for the up smash, only manages to hit his opponent instead, putting them both in disadvantage, off stage, mind you.
Dang, all right, but
Falco
got Arsene.
has his chance to take out Joker, but Joker manages to make it back on stage.
That's the power of Arsene right there. Completely changes his entire play style. I won't say play style, but moveset definitely.
Falco lands the up smash, but then Byleth manages to latch onto Terry and boost himself up with his up special.
Byleth with the grab off stage. That was a great kill right there.
And then that forward air was enough to take him off at such a
high
percent.
That was a still solid
kill. That was
kill.
a very solid kill. I will applaud that one.
Byleth getting the jump off the Terry by killing Terry at the same time. So Byleth recovered and killed Terry. That was solid right there.
That was very well.
That was clean.
That was crazy. Anyway, we're down to Byleth versus Falco and Terry. Sorry.
Falco
Looks like they're going
Terry.
for the tried and true team combos that have gotten them this far.
But it seems like Byleth is proving to be a tough match to him so
Managing
far.
to hold his own fairly well.
I know, it's kind of crazy. He's adding in some good smash attacks and range moves at the exact same time.
Managing to make very well of a troubling situation, even eventually tricking Terry into defeating his own teammate.
Which is nice because now it's nope.
Too
All right,
late.
that
Grabbed
was
right
a
in there.
pretty good match right there from Fort Calhoun. Even though they did lose, they still managed to put up a good fight against Lincoln High, especially that Byleth gameplay.
Very much, yeah. Good match. Good match.
Dude, that Byleth, man,
That
was
recovery. That was
that
some
was
good.
crazy.
That was,
That
some
was a
Byleth
good kill
gameplay.
right there.
That was a good match.
That was clean. Bro, that's crazy. All right. Let's see. We're moving on to the next match right now, which will be Lincoln High against Omaha Central. Let's see if Omaha Central can make a comeback. All right, folks, if you were wondering back home why they did 3 matches, it is because they are now doing a 3 to 5.
A best of 5 system.
Yeah, where you have to win 3 games to completely win, or both teams can match up to 2, and then the final one can win 3. All right. Both teams are getting ready for the match now. Let's see. Will Skutt go for their signature Incineroar and Joker team? And let's see. Will Omaha Central pick something different this time, or will they go with their Donkey Kong and Robin team combo? It's been working pretty well for them so far, but they haven't actually won anything. So let's see what happens. All right, they're going for exactly as I predicted. Donkey Kong and Robin for Omaha Central, and Joker and Incineroar for the Skutt Catholic team. All right, let's see. I mean, that Donkey Kong, if he gets them spikes off the Incineroar again off stage, then
The amount that Donkey Kong is able to land spikes is crazy. I mean, he does have 4 opportunities to spike, but most of the ones he's landed has been from his down air, which is rather interesting considering that's often one of the harder ones to land.
it is true. He goes for a spike immediately after getting the Incineroar into a grab off stage, but it proves to not work out so well for him. He even managed to hit his teammate a couple
Got
times.
Skutt an advantage right off the bat, managing to get Robin up to already almost 100%.
But it seems like Donkey Kong's trying to even the odds, getting that Incineroar up there as well. I'd say it's pretty even so far.
Incineroar's going for the edge guard against Donkey Kong. He manages to land the revenge and the forward air afterwards.
But it is not enough
But it's
to
not
kill
enough.
Donkey.
He manages to recover and knock Incineroar off stage.
All right, Joker with the Arsene off stage though, which
Now's
is kind of
chance
his
to
playing
Now's his
field.
chance to deal some damage and take this Donkey Kong out. But he tries to go for a prediction, but doesn't manage to land the move.
Donkey Kong has been going for them off-stage grabs. That way he can lead into some good aerial combos and get him out early. But it proves to not be working so well for him until he does that.
Donkey Kong
Wow.
lands the throw and knocks Incineroar off for the first stock of the match.
But everyone else is in a close second to be the one to lose their next
Robin's
stock.
the second to go and
Donkey
followed
Kong is
closely
the
by
third.
Donkey Kong.
All right. Seems like Skutt Catholic has the advantage here at the moment.
Just with 1 stock though. And Joker, the 79 is not too dangerous, but if he's not careful, he can end up getting killed pretty quickly here.
By that Donkey Kong
Especially if that Donkey Kong lands this up air. No, he doesn't, because Joker manages to use his neutral B to safely recover back to stage.
Yep, and then, Robin with the spike on top of the Joker, but Joker still manages to make it back on stage.
Robin's going for the edge guard against Joker.
All right,
But he
Donkey
manages to
Kong's
get back
taking
to
down
life.
the Incineroar right now, but manages to get out of the sticky situation and manages to
Incineroar
knock
goes for
Donkey
the edge
Kong
guard.
out of the way.
Donkey Kong gets Joker off stage. He goes for the edge guard, but is ultimately unable to make a connection.
Robin take care of the Incineroar so far.
Joker changes the situation in his favor and lands a back air to take out Donkey Kong.
All right, Incineroar takes
It's
care
the
of the
revenge
Robin.
back air, almost takes out the Robin.
Donkey Kong doing the same thing he did to Incineroar, completely dominates on Joker. Joker finally loses his first stock of the match.
Here comes Robin. Close, but not quite. 150 is a dangerous spot for him, but we'll see if he can make the most of his last seconds on
That's
this
true.
stock.
Let's see here, because Robin has the ability to heal himself, which is really useful. But it seems like it's really hard
It's
to
a
do.
very difficult move to land.
That is true.
It's not just a straight-up heal, it's a life-steal maneuver, and I don't think I've ever seen him use it once.
He tried it, but then he died. So
Joker lands a back air and knocks Robin down to his last stock.
nice. Donkey Kong going for the neutral B, which is a super strong punch that can kill at low percentage and is even worse at high percentage because that's a definite kill.
Things are pretty even here. Joker may have the stock advantage, but he just got deleted by the Robin anyway.
The Incineroar
Incineroar
killing the
manages to
Donkey
stage
Kong
spike
off
the
stage.
Donkey Kong.
All right.
Back to a familiar 2v1 situation.
The
Robin
2v1
making the most of it.
But what's nice is they are all at one stock. It is a close game compared to what we have seen before with Omaha Central. So they have definitely upgraded their strategy so far. So let's see if Robin can take care of one of these
Robin
and make
just
it
fed
even
Joker's
1v1.
Arsene gauge. That could end
That
up
is
being
true.
a pretty problem.
But what's nice is that if Joker can't get enough hits off it,
Man, Robin
and
is
even hurting his own
bobbing
teammate.
and weaving his way through all of this torrent of attacks.
Robin is doing some pretty good evasive work, trying to stall until that Joker can get rid of Arsene. That way he's got a better advantage against him.
He can rack up some damage pretty quickly if he's smart. But ultimately, I feel like the 2v1 is gonna be too much. for him
Joker
to pull
grabs
out
the
win.
Robin, but Robin gets out of it without too much damage happening. Nice.
Manages to hit both of them with the side B.
That was nice right there. But ultimately,
He tries to recover, but instead of clipping the ledge, gets hit by the Incineroar dash attack.
crazy how bad that knee can hurt you.
First match goes to Skutt.
That is true. Omaha Central definitely upgrade their playing style. They know that if they lose this, they're going to lose everything. So, of course, they're going to be switching it up. They're going to be playing a lot harder than they have been. And it proves to be working, getting it down to a 2v1 where everyone is at one stock. Now, if the Donkey Kong can stay in long enough or get spikes off right away off the Incineroar, they will be at an immediate advantage.
Yeah, I feel like it's all going to come down to what happens in the early game. If they can manage to take some pretty decent stocks early, then it'll just be a matter of who can hold on to the lead the longest.
All that matters is what the Donkey Kong does right away. Because Robin can stay in the match long enough. That's what he's good at. The only problem is Donkey Kong trying to get enough kills off it. That way he can help Robin out.
Yeah.
They did that. Donkey Kong did that pretty well last match. It just wasn't enough to get a win. So let's see if they can clutch up this round.
Moving to Final Destination now. Different change in pace. No platforms at all. Just operating on a single flat battlefield.
Yeah, it's pretty flat, which is helpful to Donkey Kong and harmful for
Joker's
Joker.
locking Donkey Kong in a 50% combo right off the back. Donkey Kong's all the way up to 90% within the first 15 seconds of the match.
But let's see here.
Incineroar goes for the kill and tries to take it.
Incineroar dies first, though.
Man, he...
Now that's a crazy comeback.
I mean, I would have expected
Donkey
that
Kong with the
would have
spike
been
off of the
obliterated
Joker,
instantly.
but it gives Joker his Arsene. Not too bad if they can get the Joker out of the way or if they can block
He hits
Joker's
his
attacks.
teammate. He hits both of them at the same time, but neither of them managed to get hit by that last shot, which would have
Robin hit
knocked
the
them both
Donkey
into
Kong,
disadvantage.
and then Incineroar hit the Donkey Kong, which was enough to kill the Donkey Kong
Finally getting his revenge for that first stock he lost. And he manages to spike the Robin, putting Skutt at another early advantage with only one stock separating the difference.
But Incineroar has taken some heavy damage so far. But Donkey Kong's recovery wasn't enough. Skutt's at an even bigger advantage right now.
Here we go. Donkey Kong goes for the stage spike, but doesn't manage to land the proper angle.
Yeah, no.
Robin, manages to land a very good down smash, which notches both opponents
Donkey
into
Kong with an
disadvantage.
insane spike off the Incineroar,
Donkey Kong
and he's
just go
going
for
with
the
this
kill move?
stage. Yep, right there.
Manages to throw him right off there at the end. Joker's still holding on to his last stock, though. We'll see if he can make the recovery. He can, but Donkey Kong's putting some pressure on him.
All right,
Incineroar
let's see
manages
here.
to land the final blow.
Joker with his
off
first
first
kill
stock.
so far.
Sting's still pretty even. Robin may be at a higher damage percent, but
It is
still
now a 3v3.
It's still a It's still a 3-stock to 3-stock.
Yeah. But Incineroar gets a crazy side B. Oh, Donkey Kong with a nice punch right there. That's pretty good. All right, let's see. Can Incineroar, will Incineroar or will Donkey Kong die first and give the advantage to the other team? Seems like it might be Donkey Kong, but can Robin save? No, Robin can't save. All right, seems like Donkey Kong took Robin's life. Let's see if that will help out.
Oh, frick. No.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, we're back. Sorry, folks. All right, Incineroar with a nice back grab.
Gets spiked by the Robin, man, crazy.
All right, Incineroar's
Incineroar
back
takes
in.
the last stock. They know that the 2v2 is always better than the 1v2.
That is true, but Joker is at high percentage, so if Donkey Kong can get a nice hit off of him.
This match isn't set in stone yet. Robin may be at a high percent, and never mind.
No, it's
We're
not
into
set in
the
stone either,
2v1.
man. Robin did pretty well last time in a 1v1 situation.
Donkey Kong doesn't manage to recover, sealing that next match to Skutt.
Donkey Kong's recovery just isn't the greatest.
I know
It's
it.
sad to say, but
It feels like it's frustrating, right? Because you feel like you shouldn't lose at that point, but then your recovery just doesn't quite make it back to ledge, and then you just fall, man.
it's just, you hate to see it, but that's what happens when you pick someone with bad recovery. That's why if they switched up their strategy a bit, they could get a heavier character with a better recovery, you know. But it seems like they prefer Donkey Kong, so I'm just gonna let them do them. Seems like we're going for an Incineroar duo instead of having Robin on Omaha Central. They're going in for their final match, potentially, unless Omaha Central can get a my bad. If Omaha Central can get one win, they'll be going into one more match. So let's see what happens.
It's Donkey Kong already at an immediate disadvantage, but seeming to make the
Incineroar is
most
taking a
of it.
lot of damage right now. Donkey Kong and Incineroar are getting
Incineroar
up
with
there.
a ton of.
Nice.
He manages to bury the Incineroar, but he doesn't manage to get any hit in before he's launched away.
That is true. Joker going in for some combos against Donkey Kong.
Incineroar comes up behind the other one and lands a big up smash with that revenge effect too.
Yep. And in case you are wondering, folks, purple Incineroar is Omaha Central, and blue Incineroar is Skutt Catholic. Just so you don't get confused.
Looks like only Incineroars are managing to hold on to their first stock, but we'll see
That is true.
We'll see who can end up holding on to theirs longer.
Donkey Kong with a nice spike against the Joker, but Joker dealing poison on Incineroar.
Donkey Kong goes for the stage spike, but it's not enough to take out Joker quite yet. Joker tries to block the... Man, Incineroar's down for the count too. Jeez, okay.
Alright, Incineroar finally lost his stock, but Omaha Central Incineroar is still holding on to his. So it seems like Omaha Central's got a nice advantage right off the bat so far.
Omaha Central's Incineroar is holding them off
did
pretty
you
well
see
at
what
stage.
happened?
Yeah.
So Incineroar was in the air, and Joker got launched into the air while Incineroar was doing his up special. So Incineroar intercepted Joker and led into a huge explosion. So that was nice
Skutt's
on
Incineroar
Omaha
manages
Central's
to
part
take
right there.
down Donkey Kong with the classic revenge into F air, forward air.
Incineroar staying in a lot longer than you thought he would. He's already at 175 and he's still going. That's crazy. Seems like Donkey Kong and Incineroar are in a
Joker
combo
better hurry
battle
up and
so
put a
far.
stop to him before he manages to. Nope. He tries to recover, and Incineroar's up special just isn't enough to get him back on stage.
That's true, but what's nice is that was his first stock so far. So it's kind of
managed to
even.
survive for
Donkey
pretty
Kong's at.
long.
All right, they're even again.
Donkey Kong managed to take down Joker's second stock. He's down to his last one. Let's see. Donkey Kong also manages to take Skutt's Incineroar
Catholic
too.
Incineroar, let's go.
Central is at the advantage.
Yeah, it seems that this adding in this Incineroar has proven to be
Incineroar
a
has
huge
been a huge
advantage to them
advantage.
so far. They are now at the advantage with, let's see here, it would be 3 stock against 2 stock so far. But the Donkey Kong ruins it and accidentally kills his own teammate.
Unfortunately.
Which isn't too bad because the Donkey Kong is still staying to be in here so far.
If the Donkey Kong can survive for long enough, he might be able to
help out the Incineroar
help out
so
the
he can handle
Incineroar
it
so
all
that he
by
doesn't end
himself.
up in a 2v1 situation.
Yep. All right, Donkey Kong, high percentage, is very dangerous right now.
He's not getting down that easily, though, unless Incineroar comes up from behind and lands a back
Incineroar gets
throw.
that nice throw off.
Here we go. Central's Incineroar is the only one left standing on their side of the field. This is their last chance to make a comeback. Otherwise, they're knocked down to the losers bracket. He manages to revenge Joker's
Incineroar for the revenge,
down smash.
and he launches him out of the way, but Incineroar goes for the side B.
Joker's
Joker is down.
We're in an Incineroar versus Incineroar
Skutt
here.
Catholic kills Omaha Central, then this will be the last match for Omaha. Well,
This would be the last match for the winners bracket of Omaha Central. Skutt jumps in from behind and lands Incineroar's F-tilt, finishing off the match in a rather, again, anticlimactic finish.
Isn't that what happened like last time? He
That
just
happened
did
a
the-
few times
just did
before,
the tap.
yeah.
Little bitty tap. Just little tap for
It's
the win.
unfortunate. I was rooting for
Like,
Central
I was
there, I'll be
rooting.
honest.
Like,
they
Central,
they had the chance to win
that was a good chance for a win right there for Central.
They just ultimately got unlucky. But with that, that means we are now moving into
the
our
final winners bracket, right? Or
no,
is it losers?
we're moving to losers bracket now.
Oh, we're going to losers.
So
All
that
right,
means
Omaha
Omaha
Central, they can
Central-
redeem themselves.
Omaha Central versus Fort Calhoun. They're going to battle it out for the third place slot.
All right, let's go. Will Fort Calhoun or Omaha Central get third place? It is not the best place to be in, but it's definitely better than last place. So, let's see what's going on.
We'll see what happens here. Both teams have the opportunity to win this. Well, I mean, guess win, but fighting third place is still respectable in a tournament like
Well, of
this.
course, but it's only 4 teams. So it's respectable that they got here in the first place.
Yeah.
And it seems like they have chosen Final Destination as the spot that they're going to be battling on. They're going for the Donkey Kong and is it going to be Robin? It's going to be the Donkey Kong and Robin combo, whereas Fort Calhoun is going for the Byleth and Ganondorf combo this time. Smart keeping the Byleth, but the Ganondorf, let's see what that's going to be like. All right, we're starting off the match. Pretty strong. Pretty even so far. Dealing minor damage, not too bad.
Violet's already at 37. I wouldn't call that minor damage.
Well, you know, like,
And
there
Violet
you go.
manages
See,
to
there
land
you
that
go.
down
That's what
smash,
you're looking
putting
for.
Robin on equal footing.
The 40, that's what you were looking at.
Incineroar goes to take down Ganondorf right off the bat. Donkey Kong manages to finish him off pretty
And that's what
quickly.
happens when you pick a character with bad recovery.
But
But
Ganondorf manages
Ganondorf
to
makes
land
up
the
for it by
down air and
spiking that
spiking him
Donkey
right
Kong.
out of the bed.
Nice. And Donkey
Donkey
Kong
Kong's
also makes up
cooking,
for
man.
it by,
He's-
dang, he stage spiked that Byleth. That was pretty crazy right there, not gonna lie. You don't see that very often.
Donkey Kong is an interesting character because he can either win by a wide margin or he can just get
Lose
absolutely
really easily,
shredded
yeah.
by his bad recovery.
All right, let's
man.
see. Nice. Robin did their electric beam, and they didn't hit Donkey Kong this
Donkey
time.
Kong gives the Byleth, making it impossible for them to recover, putting
Omaha Central at the advantage. But Ganondorf is holding on so far, so let's see what happens. What'll they do? Donkey Kong
managed to take down
I mean,
Ganondorf with him.
they lost a stock and they took a stock, so I feel like that's kind of a win in
Even
of
trade,
its own.
even
you know?
trade.
Yeah, even trade. Because Omaha Central still at the advantage right now. Robin has not lost a single stock. This is, and they're going into a fire combo. That's pretty dope right there. Not gonna lie. Man, this Robin's really good at their
Byleth
fire
lands the down
combos.
smash, takes out Robin's first stock.
And Donkey Kong takes out the Ganondorf,
Ganondorf's on
knowing
his own.
about his terrible recovery and
Byleth's
getting
down.
him out of the way.
Man,
That's a
that
win
was,
right there for
that
Omaha
was
Central.
Crazy. They just managed. That was a ton of recovery exploitation.
Yeah, no,
there.
right there. The Donkey Kong definitely exploited that recovery, whereas the Robin dealt most of the damage. So that was a nice switch up they did right there.
Not just the Donkey Kong and the Ganondorf, but like
The
Byleth
Byleth, he
ended up
got
getting
him,
gimped a few
gimped
times.
him up. That was crazy.
Robin was really the only one who managed to survive simply because Robin's recovery is that good that they weren't killed with.
Well, simple, Robin kept going for them great combos. They got the fire, they got the lightning, they got the sword. They kept doing side B, which is his fire attack, into an up special, which kept launching the Ganondorf into the air, which kept giving Donkey Kong a chance to take care of the Byleth in on its own.
That was a very interesting match. I think that was the most unique match we've had so far. On all,
What I think is
honestly.
the most interesting right now is that Fort Calhoun is switching up their team yet again. They're going for a Pyramithra combo and Snake. Pyramithra is its own character. It's two different. It's kind of confusing. It's You get to play as 2 people.
You get to play as 2 people on 1 character set. It's annoying.
It is annoying, especially since one is really good at dealing a lot of damage, and the other one is really good at starting combos.
And super fast.
So right now, TRV is playing as Pyra, the one who deals a lot of damage.
And a ton of launch. Manages to get a ton
That
of
is
super
true.
early kills if she's lucky.
Pyra is dealing a lot of damage against the
Manages
Donkey
to let
Kong
an
right
F smash and takes the first stock off of Robin.
But Donkey Kong is dealing some good combos against the Snake, getting him high into the air. But it appears it was not enough to kill him.
This Pyra has thrown their Omaha Central's team for a loop. It's really seems
It
to
is,
be
especially since the
disorienting them.
Pyra has only taken 10 damage so far.
Pyra seems to be, man, she's going for all of the kills right
Pyra's
now.
going, jeez. Pyra's only going for that.
Donkey Kong's going to
Dang.
finish her off, though, because although she does a ton of
Pyra.
damage, her recovery, just like a
Yep.
ton of other heavyweights, has not as good as it should have been.
Pyra not getting enough. Yep, Pyra
Not
with
enough
the
recovery.
bad recovery. Which is good, because Donkey Kong can exploit that. They get enough damage off Pyra, they can get to a huge advantage right now.
Speaking of exploitation, Donkey Kong landed another stage spike.
Let's
That's
go,
crazy.
man. That's good right there. And,
And
what's
he's at
even crazier is
166
the
on
fact
his
that
3
Donkey Kong
stocks.
hasn't lost his stocks yet.
He's almost
And
at
he's
200.
taking more damage. Now that's crazy. But one hit from Pyra and it's over. Yep, right there. Same goes for Robin right now, though, as well.
135. Pyra air dodges, and then that makes it
Pyra
unable to recover.
died. Let's go. Donkey Kong going
goes
for the stage spike again.
but Snake
Just
manages
keeps
to get
gimping
back
him.
on.
Nope, it wasn't enough.
Pyra gets her shield broken. One good fully charged F smash is going to deal a ton of damage.
But
there.
it isn't enough, especially since it was Robin. Robin might have broken the shield, but she wasn't strong enough to actually deal enough damage.
And the Donkey Kong accidentally kills his teammate.
It's cool though, because Pyra is now to 1 stock as well, and Snake is also at 1 stock, which means that Omaha Central does have an advantage right now.
Donkey Kong goes
And
off
Donkey
stage,
Kong
manages to
exploiting
take down
Pyra's
bad
terrible recovery. Yep. I'm kind of surprised they never went to Mithra. You know, Mithra's got some crazy
Mithra
recovery.
is the better character of
Comboing,
those two,
especially,
but
yeah.
in a 2v2 setting, I will admit, Pyra does shine a lot more frequently.
Well, I don't know. See, because here's the thing. Pyra's so destructive. She kept dealing a lot of damage to everybody. And I mean everybody. She dealt so much damage to Snake as well. So, you know, attacking your own teammate isn't really the greatest outcome.
It's not. That is true. That's the problem with all these matches.
But
That there's always
too
that
much
chance that you
destruction.
accidentally hurt your teammate.
Too much destructive people destroying the wrong person.
Yeah, it comes down to teamwork. You gotta be able to communicate.
You gotta communicate, you gotta get good combos like that Falco and Terry combo. They be doing real tight.
up
they
at
be
Lincoln
practicing.
High. They work well together. And we see that. If Fort Calhoun wants to pull out a victory today, they need to learn to work as a proper team and manage to pull out that victory by communicating and playing into each other's strengths.
That's quite accurate. But it looks like Fort Calhoun going for another changed Little Mac combo. Or not. Let's see here who they pick in this time.
We'll see, because so far Fort Calhoun has always done pretty well whenever they switch characters. They're wide,
Especially in the last
pool.
match,
Yeah.
which really matters.
The amount of characters they're able to play makes it so that way
They're
everyone they've
versatile.
gone up against have always constantly tried to play catch up as they adapt to different characters and play styles.
Exactly, which means they need to handle the fact that people are changing so much.
Yeah.
Which is good in and of itself. That means they can adapt, which means that if Omaha Central wins and they pick different characters, Omaha Central's got really good adaptability.
Yeah.
But if Fort Calhoun wins, that just means their versatile options prove to be pretty sound in the end. Choosing Snake and a Bowser combo this time. Not bad. The only thing is that Snake needs to get better at handling its bombs.
Yeah.
Like getting into the
Those
air,
grenades-
dropping a grenade, like that's useful, but it hasn't actually hurt or hit anyone.
I'd argue, I'd make the opposite
Like
argument.
it does
hurts
it, but not like
the wrong people.
Exactly.
It ends up hurting his teammate or hurting himself.
especially since Snake is a grenade type. It's a since Snake's a projectile type and all of his projectiles are explosives, that's a huge problem, especially if you accidentally hit your own teammate.
Man, Donkey Kong, not even 30 seconds in, already at 100%.
And
with the
Snake hitting Donkey Kong once again, finally getting a grenade off.
with the crazy offensive power of these two, it would seem like Donkey Kong isn't in that great of a position right now.
But Donkey Kong going for that spike on the Bowser, and Bowser's in Bowser ain't in the greatest position either right now.
Bowser is super
But
heavy.
Bowser makes up for it by killing that Donkey Kong.
Bowser just has so much rage right now. 131, Donkey Kong's going to stage spike him, so it doesn't really matter. But Bowser, if he hadn't gotten grabbed there, he might have been able to survive for just a tad bit longer.
Donkey Kong pulling off all these stage spikes. Like, you know it's a good move, but you hardly ever actually see it get put into action and used so well, you know?
Yeah, and as consistently and effectively as this Donkey Kong has
Been doing
displayed
it
today.
Yeah, no. And it is kind of surprising so far that the Snake hasn't died. That's usually been what happened to him so far.
Manages to use his remote-controlled rocket to take down Robin, putting for Calhoun actually in the advantage in the early game.
Good job on the Bowser distracting everybody so far so that way Snake can hide in the background and do his grenades.
Snake taking the correct option, trying to recover his opponent as he tried to, his teammate as he tried to recover back to stage.
Yeah,
Donkey Kong's at another high percentage. It's going to take one beefy hit from either of these two characters to finish him off.
Yeah, let's see.
Jep right there. Bowser down there manages to finish off Donkey Kong's second stock.
But let's see here. The same thing can happen to Bowser. Bowser might have slightly better recovery than Donkey Kong, but he's still a heavyweight. And Donkey Kong can do the same thing. Yep, right now. Boom.
Snake manages
right there.
to take down his teammate.
There's no way.
His opponent.
Yep.
No, Snake tried, but he wasn't able to get his opponent the boost he needed. His teammate the boost he needed, sorry.
And Bowser, his recovery's better, but it still wasn't enough to actually help him out. All right, Bowser taking some damage. All right, they're going off stage
They're going
again.
for the stage spike. Bowser's
and
down.
it proves to be useful. Bowser is
We'll
down
see
for
if
the
they go
count.
for the restock. Yep.
Now it's an even
Bowser's
2v2.
back into the match.
Everyone's down to one stock. Let's see. Will
And with
Bowser
that
getting
Bowser
back
at
into the game be
0%?
useful? Yes, Bowser going for a side smash, dealing a lot of
Manages
damage,
to take down
and an up
Donkey Kong.
smash. Donkey Kong is all by himself.
Down smashes his own teammate. Robin's at an advantage here now.
All right, let's see here. Donkey Kong, he's got, my bad. Bowser, he's got enough, he's got enough power.
He's got enough
damage.
But if he gets gimped here, it might be over.
But here's the thing. Robin lost their sword, which means their physical
Robin
attacks
lost their
are
sword. Their
yeah,
physical
their special
attacks
sword.
are weaker now.
Exactly, but nope, it doesn't matter. They got their sword back in time. They stalled long enough. Let's see if Bowser gets a good smash, or even if he gets his side special where he grabs the enemy and slams them into the ground and explodes them. That might be enough to kill this Robin
This is
and
a very
give
close
Calhoun
match.
a quick win. All right,
Goes
let's
Rolling
see
Fortress,
here.
puts Robin in disadvantage.
Let's see here. Will he get a good?
Goes for the dash
Oh.
attack, doesn't connect
Into
until the
the
very
air.
last hit.
Goes into the air,
Lays
and
the
he got
air,
a back
and
air.
Robin is done. For Calhoun takes some game.
Wow, you were not expecting that, were you?
I was not expecting that, in all honesty.
For Calhoun for the win. See, Bowser, he's just got enough destructive power to actually be doing something pretty crazy moves like that.
That was a very, 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 very impressive display of that Bowser
That
by
was.
for Calhoun.
That was really nice right there. If I'm being, in all honesty, that was a good comeback right there.
So with that, we now move into the fourth match.
That is true.
Omaha Central still only
Fourth
needs to
match?
win one match, but Fort Calhoun has shown they're not going down without a fight.
That is 100% accurate. If Fort Calhoun sticks with this Bowser and Snake combo, they might actually be able to win. Because so far it's been pretty well. Bowser dealing all this distraction. He's been a huge distraction so far.
It's given Snake the opportunity to
sit back, relax, and explode everyone from
and
a
blow everyone up
distance.
from a
Yep.
distance.
But the only problem is that Donkey Kong's just been really good at gimping his recovery. And Snake has had one of the best recoveries in the entire game. So it's kind of surprising how many times Snake has been killed because of not having enough chance to recover.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but you know,
That's some good gameplay right there from the Donkey Kong player.
Donkey Kong is blocking Bowser off the edge right
Yeah.
now. He's going to keep
Giving
going for
him-
the edge guard.
Oh, dang, but Snake
Comes in and helps his
Bowser.
teammate.
But it's a bit too late. Bowser's at a huge percentage right now.
Bowser's
And
at
it's
a
gonna
at a percent disadvantage, but he's able to
Nope,
just
he's
barely
not,
misses
yeah.
his recovery opportunity.
Dang, but Snake, he's handling pretty well all by himself. Yep. He's been handling things pretty good on his own so far.
Snake going for the
Been
juggle.
juggling that Donkey Kong for a while.
Donkey Kong
here.
manages to get out of the way. Bowser's playing off of Byleth right, Robin
Accidentally
right off
hitting
the edge.
Snake, but not doing too bad.
Robin
against
hits
him.
his own teammate
But to get him out of the
to get him out of the Bowser combo, which might have been worth it. Might have been worth
yeah,
it.
that might have saved him. Donkey Kong trying
Donkey
to
Kong,
explode Bowser's
Donkey Kong
bad
goes
air
for it. He
recovery
barely
again.
made it back to stage.
But let's see here. Both Donkey Kong, Robin, and Snake are at
Snake gets
terrible
caught under the stage and
percentages.
loses the first stock of the match. 1 minute in,
Second
that's a
stock,
pretty long
actually.
survivability.
Bowser lost the
Oh,
stock.
no, yep, you're right, actually. Robin is the only one who remains with their 3 stocks. Let's see how this plays out.
They're really good at keeping it going. But, oh, no.
Donkey Kong gets gimped, loses his second stock with that just as easily.
Nice, which is good, because now it's pretty even. Whereas Robin has most of the stocks and Donkey Kong has the least. And Joker and Bowser are pretty even.
This could end up
Snake and
shifting in
Bowser are
Fort
pretty
Calhoun's
even.
favor, and they take the advantage. 4 stocks to 3.
But let's see here. Will Donkey Kong be able to beat up Bowser and make it an even 3-stock to 3-stock?
Robin's trying to keep Bowser at bay, but Bowser's refusing to get hit outright, managing to
Nice.
contain the chaos
Oh,
so well.
Bro, did you miss that?
I saw that,
Snake.
yeah.
Snake was doing his recovery, but he lost it. So then what he did was he attached a grenade to himself, blew himself up, then used that chance to get himself his recovery back and get back on stage. So good play right there from
Oh
Snake.
my gosh, double kill from the
Yeah,
Donkey Kong.
insane double play
Throwing
right there from
throwing
Donkey
Bowser off
Kong.
stage and then coming to spike the Snake as he tried to help his teammate.
That was good. That was a good strategy right there from Donkey Kong. Wasn't even expecting it.
Snake
but
lands
nice.
the up smash, and now here we are back down to a 1-stock set against everyone with
All
no
right.
team at a clear advantage at the moment.
Yeah, it's a free-for-all right now, and if you lose a stock, then you're out.
First person to lose their teammate
Everybody's
might
gotta be
very
careful
well
right
lose.
now. Robin at the most percentage. Bowser in the close second. Robin's out. Yep. Donkey Kong's got to take care of
Robin's down.
himself.
Bowser's got to help out his teammate before Donkey Kong makes quick work of him.
See, but what's nice is Donkey Kong can keep exploiting their bad recoveries. He's been getting really good at gimping them.
Now that we're in the 2v1 setting, it seems like Bowser and Snake might actually make this comeback.
Yeah, because Snake put an explosive. Oh, but
On
on
Donkey Kong, and
Bowser.
it's shifted over to Bowser.
Dang. That's unlucky.
So what
Oh,
they tried to do there was Snake tried to walk up to the Donkey Kong and place an explosive on him, which would have
Killed
been
Donkey Kong.
huge and actually defeated Donkey Kong if he had the chance. But when Bowser grabbed Donkey Kong, the explosive shifted to him. Donkey Kong manages to land the tech and get back on stage, which otherwise would have resulted
without
in his
getting
defeat.
launched away too far.
He's
All right.
at 175. but
Donkey Kong is getting. He's been
He's
showing
almost
a lot
at
of
200.
a lot of skill
He-
right now.
It's
Nice.
slim, but he
All
has
right,
the chance to make a
Bowser's
comeback
out
here.
Of here.
Bowser's
There's no
not
way
done yet.
Bowser's
He can
down
recover.
What?
They sandwich
And
him for Fort Calhoun's
Snake
second victory.
with the smash attack, killing the Donkey Kong and giving Fort Calhoun another point. Now, we are in the final match. Whoever wins the next round is going to win the loser's bracket. This is pretty tense right
What
now.
a nail biter.
Fort Calhoun pretty much getting beaten the entire time during the round robin round.
Manages
But
to make
now
a comeback
are
right
making
here
a
at the
huge
very end.
comeback in the very end. So let's see if they're actually good enough to get third place in this tournament. Now that's some skill right there. Coming from Fort
Very,
Calhoun.
very impressive display.
Very impressive display skill right there. Alright, Donkey Kong charging up in the background while Robin distracts him all. Robin dealing some good damage to Bowser, whereas Donkey Kong is getting some back airs against Bowser. Donkey Kong juggling Bowser up over and over again. And Donkey Kong misses his chance to spike the Bowser, but gets him into an aerial combo. Bowser gets out of it, and Snake and Donkey Kong are beating each other up now. Seems like they have switched opponents. Snake getting some good combos off of Bowser. And Donkey Kong hitting his own teammate without needing to. It's not too bad, but Bowser can't afford it. He's already at 150 and is out immediately. Bowser's the first one to lose his stock. Seems like Omaha Central is playing a bit more serious now. Donkey Kong going into those up spikes, but it appears going into a down spike, hitting both Snake and Bowser. Donkey Kong still holding on to his neutral beat. Donkey Kong going for a back throw against Bowser, but it did not work.
Donkey Kong goes for the stage spike, manages to get Bowser off the stage in the plus
Nice.
zone.
Snake still holding on to his 3 stock, but so is
Bowser's
Robin
down to his
and
last
Donkey
stock
Kong.
already.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy, not gonna lie.
Donkey Kong loses his first stock. Snake's managing to hold on to
Alright.
his pretty well.
Yeah, let's see if Snake can make a good comeback and kill Donkey Kong and Robin. If he can get Donkey Kong and then kill Robin one more time, then they'd be at a
Robin's
advantage.
down. Here we
There
go.
we
It's
go.
only a
Now,
4
if
to 3
Bowser can
stock
get some good-
disadvantage.
If Bowser can get some good damage off the Donkey Kong, this will actually be worth it.
It's not over for Calhoun
Robin
Unite
got
quite yet.
side smashed, got side specialed by Bowser, but it didn't appear to be enough. Didn't do enough damage.
Donkey Kong goes for a stage spike again, but doesn't hit the right angle.
It this time. Bowser at
Donkey Kong lands the up air and
dies.
manages to defeat Bowser. Bowser comes back in, taking Snake stock.
Pretty smart right there. Because it's better to be in a 2v2 situation right now.
Always
Especially
better for a 2v2
Robin
than
and
1v1.
Bowser.
Bowser gets squished under the stage and Central steals the last game.
Oh, dang. Wow. Omaha Central going for some crazy. That was some crazy gameplay right there, not going to lie. Like, they completely changed. Like, dang, I can't even describe that.
You
man.
can't describe something like that. Like, they just absolutely, they came
They
in,
just,
they
like,
lost 2 matches in a row,
Jeez.
but then they were like, okay, you know what, we're not dealing with this anymore, we're locking in, and then they won with
Like, they
4
just
stocks
changed,
to their
man.
name.
They finally got serious. Like, jeez. That was some crazy gameplay right there. Keeping 3 stocks, immediately getting rid of Bowser right off the bat. They just, dang. You wish you could have seen Omaha Central be playing like that against some other people.
All right.
That was pretty good.
Omaha
But now
Central
we
now.
are into the final match. The match you have all been eagerly waiting for. It is Lincoln High against
Versus
Skutt
Skutt
Catholic.
Now, last time, Lincoln High managed to beat Skutt Catholic in a 2-1.
But Lincoln High, we have all seen, my bad. Skutt Catholic, we have all seen, has been pretty good in of its own. They both went 2-0 in the round-robin round. And now it seems like they might go, you know, it might be a 2-2 in the final round.
We're going to see now, aren't we?
Yeah, I bet they can easily go to a 3-2 match, using up all 5 chances that they have to win. I can totally see this. These 2 schools right here, they've got the power, they've got the coordination. It's crazy how well these teams play.
Very good team composition.
Very good. Their teamwork.
They're working well.
Especially Lincoln High. Lincoln High's teamwork is phenomenal. But Skutt, they're in a close second. So let's see if they can pull it out and get into an easy first. All right. Seems like there's some controller disagreement right about now.
Technical issues. They're going to fix it real quick.
All right.
But anyway, what an act to follow, man. 3-2 match with Omaha Central coming out on top. They'll take the 3rd place trophy home today. But more remarkable, arguably, is going to be this last match between Skutt Catholic and Lincoln High.
All right, well, let's hope that one of the players' controllers don't disconnect, because as you saw, one's battery was pretty low. So hopefully nothing bad happens in the middle of the match.
Any technical issues would be resolved. Those matches
I know,
would just
but
be
like
reset.
still, like that could like change everything. Like let's say it was Skutt Catholic whose remote died, yet they were about to lose, and then they get a rematch, and then they get completely wrecked by Lincoln High. Like think about that. That would just suck.
We're gonna see now, aren't we?
I think they're actually switching it up, disconnecting the controllers again. That way they can get one with more battery.
Not important. Not important. Smash. Let's talk more Smash.
Well, let's see here. So far, it's been Falco and Terry against Joker and Incineroar. Both team comps have been pretty good so far, especially Falco on Lincoln High and Incineroar from Skutt Catholic. If I have to be honest, I'd have to say those are each school's best characters so far. Because Falco keeps getting them aerial combos, and it's crazy. And Incineroar keeps smashing, it keeps spiking, keeps smashing, keeps countering, gets that revenge, then gets that easy boost off.
You can't downplay the Terry's or
you
Terry
cannot
or
downplay
Joker's
Terry, man. Especially that
play
one
either.
match where Terry got 2 stocks out, died like right away, yet kept that 3rd stock the entire time. Got up to like 175 with go and completely dominated.
Either way, I can confidently say that all 4 players in this last match most certainly deserve to be here, and we're gonna hope they're gonna make a very entertaining final set.
Yep, especially
Terry
going
goes
for, a
for
nice,
an almost early kill against the Falco, but he manages to recover back to stage.
almost accidentally killing your teammate. It happens.
Falco gets a fully charged F smash on Joker, but he's got Arsene now. That puts him in a much higher advantage state.
All right, Terry off the stage,
Terry
but makes
barely
it back
manages to recover.
on. Joker getting off stage, but that's where he shines the most.
Incineroar's the first
to lose
down
his
at
stock,
Falco.
But Everyone's still in a close second.
This is still a
to lose
close
this.
second to lose their next stock.
Yep, especially that Falco, he be getting kind of low. He's getting close.
Incineroar tries to finish off Terry, but his F smash isn't enough to take him out.
It was not enough. Now Terry's got go. Let's see
Joker
if he can
no
use-
longer has Arsene.
And Terry's got go. That's a bad disadvantage for Joker right there.
What?
Let's see.
Joker manages to use a back air to take out Falco.
All right.
Joker
and
and
he
to
gets
take
do it
out
to
Terry
take out
immediately after. Joker's
Nice
the only
two.
one with his all 3 stocks.
Nice 2-kill right there.
If he
But-
can't help out his teammate, though, he may end up
Incineroar's the-
operating at a stock disadvantage anyway. Incineroar
Yeah, that's
loses his
true.
second stock.
Joker's at high percentage, and Incineroar lost his second star right off the bat. It seems
And
like
Joker
Lincoln
just got
High
back
is
aired by
getting to a good
Falco.
advantage right now.
Man, all right. Well, looks like
But let's see. Yeah. All
Falco
right, man.
Falco
You
fails to
think-
recover.
You did not think that to happen.
I
That was
didn't
kinda
expect that
surprising.
at all. It
But
must
if
have
I'm
been
being
like a-
honest, I'm cool with it because you want this game to be close.
This I expect all 3 of these
All
matches,
3 of these
or
games.
all 5 of these matches,
Not
or however
something you
many it
expect,
is.
but you feel like,
Incineroar's down, knocked out by Terry's F smash.
but comes back in because you know it's better to be with a 2v2.
Always better for a 2v2. Never stick with the 2v1 when you can go for a 2v2.
That's true. Just having 2 people is way better because 2 people against 1. That's not
2
a
on
fight.
1's never a
That's
fair fight.
That
Never.
isn't a fight, man. That's not a fight. That's a beatdown.
Joker's trying to take down the Falco and manages to spike him.
Nice.
Falco has
That
to
was
take
some
his
good
teammate's
Joker
stock
gameplay
in
right
order
there.
to effectively shift this back to another 2v2.
All right, Incineroar accidentally grabbing the Joker, but not actually hurting him enough to kill him.
Incineroar gets back to ledge. Okay,
Yep.
we're back in neutral. We're back in neutral.
All right, Falco and Terry at the advantage here being low.
Terry applying a ton of
But-
shield pressure, trying to finish off Incineroar.
Incineroar and Joker still doing pretty good so far, especially the Joker. He's getting a lot of combos into Falco. Terry's doing good. He's dogging on the Incineroar, getting into a lot of aerial combos, throwing him, get him generally in the air and out of the way.
Joker parries that hit from
Incineroar taking down
Incineroar took
the
down
the
Falco, but then Terry manages to take out Joker. Incineroar's at an extreme disadvantage right here, but one good revenge hit might be enough for him to take the match home.
Let's see if he gets the chance. No, he does not.
And
Terry
the
with the up special.
Up special from
taking
Terry
out the
gives the
Incineroar.
first game goes to Skutt.
Wrong. First game goes to Lincoln.
Oh, sorry, Lincoln High.
I know. That was crazy. That was a good comeback right there from the Incineroar. Kind of getting his butt whooped right at the start, but when he got that stock back, he took it. He used it and he made the most of it.
Very close match, but that Terry just didn't. Terry didn't have enough damage dealt to him for Incineroar to have as good of a chance at winning that set.
That's true. Incineroar, he could have had it, but it was just bad.
It was just an unlucky series of events.
Yeah, unlucky timing. But that Terry, that was some good gameplay right there. Good thinking.
All right, here we go. Match 2 of 2 in our best of 5 match. Still the championship round. Already, Scout and things start off with a very captivating first game.
Yeah, you know it.
Looks like we're gonna have no change in team composition.
Of course not. These are the team's best characters. And seeing what we saw last match, you can definitely tell that is the best option to keep them.
Yes, I imagine that they will
The
stick
only
with these
switch
characters throughout
that
the
would
match.
give one team an advantage over the other would definitely be the stage switch. Let's see if Joker can handle it.
Joker thrives on Pokemon Stadium too. I feel like this is a great stage.
I know, but that Falco's getting a lot of up
Falco-
specials off of him.
Falco gets a
It
lot of
appears
stuff
to be
off of it,
working.
too.
But what's nice is Joker does get the bleed, the poison off of Terry.
Let's see. Incineroar lands a side B on Terry, evening out the damage percent.
Joker with the Arsene. Let's see if he can get, gets
Both
Terry into
teammates
a
off
combo.
stage. Now's Joker's chance to punish them where they stand. But both
Nope, they both make an easy
Both of
recovery
Lincoln
and
High's
combo
characters managed to make it
Incineroar
back on
and
the
Joker
stage.
away from each other. But Incineroar gave Terry the go to use his Buster Wolf.
and he gets right into Joker's F smash. Man,
An
taking the first
unlucky
stock.
event right there for Terry. But let's see if Falco can make the most of it and get Incineroar out of the way.
Terry's got
That
Joker
way he can
pushed on
even
his
the odds a
toes.
bit more.
Incineroar lands
And
the
he
final hit,
cannot
taking down
Incineroar get an easy
Falco.
kill off of Falco. Yep. But let's see here. Both
Shouldn't be too hard for
Joker
Skutt
and
to catch up.
Incineroar are very high. So Terry
for-
and Falco can get a good kill.
Here we go. Okay.
All right, Falco taking care of the Incineroar
Falco's
right now.
managing to keep both of his opponents off stage. Now's his chance to take down
All
Joker.
right, let's see.
Joker manages to land the guard and get Arsene back before his stock is gone.
All right, Falco get into them aerial combos against Joker off stage. Let's see if it works. No, it does not. Joker
Doesn't.
gets back on
Manages to
stage,
recover.
but Terry gets to combo him away.
And Incineroar gets knocked in the blast zone.
Good kill from Falco right there.
He hits both of Lincoln's characters with that side B. Very good play on Incineroar's part.
Yeah, the Incineroar is definitely playing a lot better than the last round. And he gets revenge.
Falco manages to finish off the Joker.
Let's see, will Incineroar get to use that revenge? He does on the Falco, but the Falco lives.
Almost killing Falco, man.
Close. Oh, wait, can he
Never
gimp him?
underestimate revenge.
He gimped him.
He gimped him. Falco wasn't able to recover.
Dang,
putting
right
Lincoln
there.
high.
That was...
Skutt has the advantage now. They have the one stock advantage. Terry has gold though. That might shift things in their favor if they.
That is
can
true,
get a good
unless Joker can
move
gimp
off.
the Terry. Nope.
Manages to land the Buster Wolf. Terry's just gonna bide his time.
Or die, because
Falco lands the back
Joker...
air, locking him into the blast zone.
Joker
man.
with that Arsene, man. Plus Falco's hit. It was too bad of a combo. But Terry going into a combo against the...
Falco manages to spike Incineroar after trying to get spiked himself. And Incineroar manages to land a giant F smash on Falco.
All right, Terry's all by himself, but he's not... Terry's pretty good in 2v2s, especially with enough destructive power as so. But let's see, will he have enough to get to the ledge? He does.
Manages to get to ledge.
And he gets out.
Still being pressured by Incineroar and Joker. Gets tossed back off stage. Joker has the chance to finish the job.
All right, let's see what happens. Joker's pretty high. Incineroar does hit
Terry
Joker away,
playing
which gives
defensively.
Yep. Terry's got an advantage. But nope, he's off stage again. Let's see.
Now's his chance. He can
Will
get,
it-
if
nope,
he's
let's
lucky,
go.
If he's lucky, that's not
All
going
right,
to
he's
kill.
got
It
go,
gives,
he's got go,
it gives
though.
Terry go.
And
He manages to hit Joker, but it's not enough to finish him off.
Let's see, he Buster Wolf
There goes-
Incineroar, but Terry got thrown away by the Joker.
And he gets spiked by Incineroar's up special. Skutt takes the next match, or next game.
Yep, that was a good comeback right there, especially
That
from
was
the
a good
first
comeback.
round.
That was two very solid rounds to start things off.
Yeah,
The way
slightly
things were looking.
unexpected from Skutt, but super. That was super useful.
Well, very well
Yeah.
executed.
The map change must have been what it was, huh?
We'll see if they end up switching the stage once again. That might end up changing.
That's
the
true,
delta.
because they definitely did a lot better on Town and City, Lincoln High. And Lincoln High goes back
Yep.
to Town and City. Let's
Moving
see here,
back.
going to each other's respective maps. Let's see, will Skutt be able to get advantage even though they lost this the last round? Or will Lincoln High pull another win? All right, let's see here.
No character change so far. They're still going. I mean, the way things have been going, I'd say
It's
that
best to keep these characters. It's been
no
pretty
character
even
change
so
would be
far.
important. No character change would not be necessary.
Stuff's been going pretty even, especially with that Incineroar dogging on that Falco so far. Getting him all the way up to 50 right off the bat and taking no damage. Then Terry accidentally hitting the Falco, getting him up to 77. Let's see if Joker can finish off the Falco.
Joker goes, trying to edge guard Terry, manages to hit him, but Terry's able to come back on stage.
All right, Incineroar juggling the Falco. Will Incineroar be able to kill the Falco? No,
Incineroar goes for the
Falco
edge trap.
gets back in. All right, Falco still alive, very high, but he can still handle it pretty well.
Falco could just as one bad move might be enough to do Falco in here.
And
he gets
Falco's
hit
gone.
by his own teammate, and Joker's
Falco,
counter
Terry,
hits both his
and
teammate and the
Incineroar
Terry.
are all gone. Joker is the only one with 3 stocks, and he has Arsene, so that's an immediate advantage to him. That's a huge advantage to him, and he's not even at 100 yet. So let's see, will Joker be able to make the most
Nope,
of it?
he gets back aired, combo straight into that
All
back
right,
air and
man,
loses his
everyone,
stock.
stuff's been pretty even this game so far. It's been pretty crazy. All right, Falco doing a bunch of aerial combos against the Incineroar. The Incineroar finally getting out of it.
Joker pushing Terry off stage.
All right,
Doesn't
Falco
manage to
using a
keep him
bunch of
off.
bullets against the Incineroar. Incineroar punishing the Falco. All right, it seems like they switched. Incineroar is going after the Terry.
Incineroar gets caught under the stage and
All
ends
right,
up SDing.
dang. Incineroar got really unlucky. But let's see here. Will Incineroar be able to make a comeback and at least get a couple kills off the Terry? Joker doing good with the Arsene. He's handling the Falco
Joker's
pretty
got
well.
Arsene, and both of his opponents are at a very high percent. He can make the most of this.
All right, let's see
now.
here. Incineroar,
Incineroar manages to take down the Terry.
whereas Joker gimped the Falco.
Gimping the Falco. That's crazy.
Joker with an immediate advantage. Again, Arson and 2 stocks, just like last time. But let's see. Will he get killed once again and make stuff even?
Joker lands the down air into his up smash. That's crazy. Not trying.
All right, Joker
not
dealing the
moving to
poison
protect.
on Terry. Terry coming with a comeback, getting Joker up to a higher percentage and launching him.
Incineroar
That's
covers
some
his
good
teammate
launch
as he
rate right
comes back
there.
to stage.
Falco doing some good aerial combos like always. Let's see, will Falco be able to get the Joker? No, Joker gets the Falco and throws him off stage. Once again, twice in a row, and he backs airs him, but Falco gets back on stage once more. Let's see, will Terry be able to kill this Incineroar?
Nope, he whiffs the F smash and Incineroar manages to get past him.
All right,
Joker pushes both of his, applies some pretty good pressure to both of his
Incineroar
opponents.
taking down the Falco pretty
This
well.
is very dangerous. Incineroar needs to disengage.
All right, Terry getting into a
Incineroar's
good
down.
combo. Incineroar's down, but he can go back in because of Joker's stock. Now, let's see here. Stuff is actually pretty even.
Joker is at his last stock, but he also has Arsene. He's at 130.
Terry couldn't make it back.
Terry couldn't make it back, and Incineroar manages to
Seems
get
like the
last
stage
hit.
switch was not what Skutt Catholic needed. Lincoln High. Oh, wait. That was what Skutt Catholic needed.
That was exactly what Skutt Catholic.
Lincoln High loses once again. Skutt Catholic for the win. All right. If Skutt Catholic can get the win one more time, this will be the final match. But let's see here. I've got a pretty good feeling about Lincoln High,
I feel like
especially
with
since
the
they're
stage-
switching the stage
switching
again.
the battlefield.
So it's got more platforms this time, which will give Falco the
excels
advantage.
with
Yeah,
platforms.
Falco will have much more of an advantage.
And then Terry too.
Terry
has
can
some
take
pretty
care of
good
the
platform
bottom area,
combos.
whereas Falco can take care of the stage upper area. But see, here's the thing. So can Joker. Joker can take care of those platforms pretty easily.
It's just, you know, it's going to come down to who wants it more.
But what's nice is that Incineroar is restricted now. Incineroar and platforms does not go well.
Incineroar does not function well with platforms, but we're going to see just how much of a disadvantage that puts him.
I think he's doing pretty well so far, especially getting the Terry off stage. But Terry getting back on, he's doing pretty well on his own. Incineroar at the disadvantage right now, taking most damage. He's at 80 right now because of the Terry and the Falco. Let's see, will he be able to get back up on stage? He
manages
does.
it back.
But will he be able to get rid of the Falco? No, he
Nope,
will not.
gets
The
not back
Falco
off
will be
stage.
able to get him now. But he gets back on stage, which is fine. Terry taking care of the Joker in the background. But Terry is at high percentage. So let's see what happens.
Terry jumps off stage unintentionally.
But he does up
and-
smash. He does up special the Joker.
Yes. Joker has Arsene now. That's going to be a huge advantage.
All right, Falco getting some small damage
Terry
and a good
manages
kick.
to recover and land the Buster Wolf on Joker.
Whereas Falco got to kill the Incineroar.
Joker manages to recover, but just goes
Falco
right
kills
into
the
F
Joker
up
once
smash.
again. Terry with Go and Falco, who is at 76. Terry and Falco both have their stocks. Let's see what happens.
Seems like we
Oh.
were right. This stage advantage so far seems to be working in
Joker
Lincoln High's
with
favor.
Arsene again, all thanks to Terry. But let's see, will it work? Terry does have Go, whereas Arsene is not a permanent thing. All right. Terry
That power guy
yeah,
took a huge chunk of
that was. He went
Arsene.
from 6 to 34, man. That was a huge jump right there. Let's see if Terry can use again. Nope, Incineroar's going with the
manages to land
back
the
air.
Back air.
Getting him out immediately. Fox, though, I mean,
Falco
Falco.
lands the spike and knocks Joker down to his last stock. Incineroar's got revenge. Let's see if he can make a play.
All right, let's see here.
Nope, he gets grabbed and tossed. There goes revenge. Bye-bye.
Yep.
But he does manage to push Terry off stage.
All right.
Goes for the command grab, but it's not
Nice.
quite.
Incineroar got that explosive up special off. But Terry with the combo. Let's see. Will Incineroar die?
Joker
No, he
pushes
gets
Falco
back on
off stage.
All right, Incineroar juggling the Terry, which proved
Joker's
to be
got
somewhat
Falco on the
useful.
ropes here.
All right, Terry's back on stage, and so is Falco.
Falco's at a disadvantage, but he manages to make it back on.
And save the Terry at the same time.
Incineroar comes in with the up air and manages to defeat Falco right there.
All right, Joker with the Arsene taking on the Terry, but it seems like Joker.
Falco lands the up air and finishes Incineroar down to his last stock.
All right.
Incineroar lands the forward smash and gives Falco just the slight advantages he needs. 3 stock to 2.
All right. Terry is down to 1 stock, so is Incineroar. Stuff's getting pretty even, except for the fact that Falco has 2 stocks over the Joker. But Joker has only 14% in damage. He's getting pretty good at making sure he doesn't take a lot.
That Rebels guard is coming clutch.
Yeah, he's definitely been getting really good at using it. Getting that Arsene over and over again right now. That's super useful, especially in this time where he could use Arsene. He could really need Arsene right now. And he's getting
Here
it
it
pretty
comes.
soon. All right, let's see
Here
what
it comes.
happens.
Once Andy gets
Boom, he's got Arsene.
that
Let's see,
changes
can he
everything.
take care of the Terry?
He might be able to take down
But Terry has
right
Go,
now.
so let's see what happens.
He
Terry
pushes
with
both
Go
Terry
is
and
very
his teammate
menacing.
off stage.
All right, but Incineroar and Terry both get back on stage.
Falco lands the down smash, which knocks Incineroar out of the match.
All right, let's go. It is Joker against Terry and Falco. Let's see. Joker does have Arsene, but that's going to be out pretty soon.
Lands the back air. Lincoln High takes the fourth game.
All right, let's go. It is an easy 2-2 match so far. We are in our final stretch. Let's see what happens. It's going to be the same characters. We all know that. But let's see which map. This could be it, folks.
This is it. This is the last match.
I meant, you know, their team-wise.
We have a very exciting setup here.
Yeah, this has been, oh man, this has been a huge moment. This is high stress right now. This is anxious.
You
Let's
can
hope
see
the
it.
players.
You can see all of them. All of them are sitting there. You know, they're nervous. This is big. This is the last
big.
match.
NSESA match.
Despite Lincoln winning this match, however, Skutt does have the chance to pick the stage. And as we've seen, the stage selection has a huge difference on how the match
That
turns
is so
out.
true. The Incineroar, it's just too many platforms
Too
for
many
him.
platforms.
He can't handle
Doesn't work
it.
for Incineroar.
Cannot. But it worked super well with the Falco. He even got to keep 2 stocks, and he kept gimping up that Incineroar. All right. They're having a bit of a technical difficulty, but they'll be done shortly. And we'll get into this final match.
All right. We think we're going to have any character changes?
I do not know. As I said earlier, these are their best players, which means these are also their best characters, which means that they need to stick with the best setup that they've got. All right, final match. Let's see which platform it is.
Okay, I'm going to jump in and tell you some fun stuff here. After this championship match is done, 2-2, right? That's where we're at.
2-2.
We are actually going to stream the championship of Mario Kart on this channel right after this. So if you guys want to commentate some Mario Kart right after this, we'll do that also. So as long as we're good on time.
We'll have to see, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If not, I can jump in and commentate. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, all right. See you then.
All right, here we go. This all comes down to this. This is it. This is the last choice.
All right,
Pokemon
Stadium 2.
A
Now
great
that's
stage
a good map.
for Joker, a pretty good stage for Incineroar. Not so much for Falco, but Terry can make those platforms work.
That is true. Terry is pretty good with those platforms.
That is if that ends up picking their characters.
That is true. I'm pretty sure. I am
don't think they're
confident
gonna
they are
change,
sticking
but
with the same. Yep, they're sticking with
a
it.
mix-up might.
It has been good so far. There's no need for a mix-up right now. Joker against the Terry, Incineroar against the Falco. That is all that needs to happen right now. Joker's been pretty good at getting the Terry out of the way, whereas Incineroar has been pretty good at juggling the Falco. But Falco is also good at juggling the Incineroar. They're both very juggly type characters, especially air-wise. So let's see what happens. It looks like Falco gets the juggle first right off the bat. Dang, that's a
Managing to
4-hit combo right there.
all
And
the way up
Incineroar
to
is all the way at
56.
56. All right, and
Joker's not
Joker
looking much
is in.
better either.
Yeah, no. Terry's the only one who hasn't taken a lot right now. All right, Falco going for some more aerial stuff. It's not going to work out. Let's see, nope. Falco punishes the Incineroar. Let's see, will the Incineroar make a comeback and start punishing the Falco? Yes, he does. Gets him up to 56, but it's only a 2-cost combo, not working out so well. But Terry gets out immediately. Let's see what happens.
Things looked rough for Skutt right off the bat, but they seem to be holding on
Yep.
to their first stocks pretty well until Incineroar gets hit by Terry right there.
All right, let's see what happens. Both Falco and Joker are at pretty high percentage right now. So one good hit from Terry or Incineroar could mean death right now.
Falco's got Joker
will
pushed
Falco
off
gimp
stage.
him? He
Manages
does.
to take
Gets him
him
out
out.
of the way and might be able
Almost
to get the
stage spikes the
Incineroar. Let's see.
Incineroar.
Nope. Incineroar's still alive.
Incineroar
But
lands the
Incineroar
nair.
gets the Falco. Dang. All right. All right. Joker taking care of the Falco, but the Falco getting him right back. Joker going for the poison, gets the poison. Falco gets him back, though. He deals some extra damage. Incineroar and Terry are at pretty high percentage right now.
Putting Lincoln on their toes.
Incineroar with the revenge, but Terry with the Buster Wolf.
He is go. That could be dangerous unless
If he gets that Buster Wolf off.
Gets back throw.
But he is still alive right now.
Incineroar takes him out.
Dang. But before he left, he did get to deal some extra damage to
Joker
the
gets
Incineroar.
spiked,
So
but
let's
he
see what
manages
happens.
to get back to ledge.
All right, let's see here.
No, he doesn't.
Falco gets him
carries
out
off
of the
stage with
way,
effort.
but Incineroar gets
down
to...
airs him before he can cover back to stage.
All right, let's see here. If they can get rid of the Incineroar, the match is going to be pretty even right now. This is what Lincoln High needs.
This is so close. Incineroar's down. This is
All
it.
right,
This is
Skutt,
even.
Lincoln
Everyone's
High,
last stock.
everything's
Every
even
hit
right
counts.
now. This is... All right, this is it, folks. This is a high-stress situation right now.
Skutt seems
Let's
to be
see.
handling the stress well. They are at the lower percent here.
Let's see who can handle it the best.
Incineroar lands the side B.
Falco
on
at
both of the
pretty high
opponents.
percentage. So is Terry, but that's pretty good for Terry. Terry will get that go pretty fast.
If Terry's lucky, he'll get go
Let's
before he
see.
dies.
Joker without Arsene anymore. That'll give Skutt an advantage.
Let's see. Falco. Joker tries to keep Falco off stage, but ultimately fails.
Yep. Incineroar going after their Terry.
Joker fails to recover back to ledge.
All right, let's see
Incineroar's
here.
on his own.
Okay, oh dang. Terry
Incineroar's at
with
100.
go and Joker
It's
with
not
the
over
aerials.
yet. He can still
Let's
win
see
this.
what happens. Will Skutt or Lincoln High win? Come on. Let's see what happens. Skutt with the Incineroar back.
No!
Dang.
He almost had the Terry, but Falco was right there waiting with the F smash.
Lincoln High with the win against
Lincoln
Skutt
High.
Catholic. Man, now that was a crazy match, especially from the Falco, because it looked like the Incineroar got the Terry, but the Falco came in clutch.
Well played
He did a
all
good
around.
punish against the Incineroar in the very end. Whew, I can't believe that ended, man.
That
was good.
intense.
That was intense.
Very good.
Oh, dang. Well, that's all we got here.
There you have it. Ultimately, Lincoln High comes out on top again.
Skutt Catholic in a close second.
Very, very strong performance by everyone.
Uh-huh.
Even in our losers bracket here. Also,
Omaha Central
Omaha
in
Central.
third place with Fort Calhoun in fourth place. All great schools. They all deserve to be here. And I think the placement in which they got in was pretty fair, especially at the very end with Fort Calhoun, man. That was crazy. That was a great comeback right at the very end. But ultimately, Omaha Central, they were a bit better. But, man, dude, I can't believe that is how we ended it today, man, with Lincoln High and Skutt Catholic like that. All right, we're going to end it here, folks.
That's it for the Smash Tournament. Unless we may have the reward ceremony coming up.
Oh, that is true. We'll put it on hold for now, but I hope you enjoyed what you saw so far.
ladies and gentlemen, the NSESA's Mario Kart Championship against, with Conestoga and Concordia going up against each other. And here we go. In the first Grand Prix, we've got, let's see what course we get. Ooh, everybody's a favorite. Excite Bike. How exciting.
Yeah, I think it's Swan's favorite, I know.
This is definitely one of Concordia's favorite maps, with all the tricking, with all of the lack of shortcuts. You know, it's just phenomenal.
Well, clearly they know how to trick.
Mm-hmm. Concordia is running the Cat Cruiser and Peach or Cat Peach combo. Conestoga is running the bit older Waluigi, Mr. Scooty, and Bitty Buggy combo from the last meta. And Concordia is in a first, third position, but the pack is still quite tight. Ooh, getting trailed by a green shell. So tell me, what do you think about this course yourself?
I think this course is the most brain-dead one out of all of them.
Brain dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Brain dead. But it couldn't be worse than Baby Park. Maybe we'll see that one come up.
Hey, we just saw him take the shortcut
Very good.
and straight into the grass.
Item management is definitely a big thing on this course. Second place is kind of locked there with a super horn. Not a very offensive item,
I wonder, LP just hit him with the super horn.
but is able to use it effectively. Very good.
Both first and second got the super horn.
People having mushrooms, holding them for the corners up here.
You know what? I just saw that Waluigi used the mushroom on the grass patch, not the shortcut.
Okay, Conestoga getting taken out of first, and Concordia is in first and second on the last lap here. It's still anyone's game. This pack is very tight, maybe 1 to 2 seconds from first to fourth.
Oh, he's going
And
to take the shortcut?
That's right. But gets hit by a green shell coming off the turn. Concordia takes first and second and comes out to a quick lead. Well, thank you to everyone who's come here to watch and to be a part of this NETA Smash Brothers, Rocket League, and Mario Kart Tournament Day. It's fantastic to be here with you commentating. Looks like in this second race for Mario Kart, we've got Tick-Tock Clock.
Now here's a map which I like.
The Bitty Buggy here will definitely have a good time. Its mini turbo stat is really going to help it with all these tight turns.
Just depends on how well he does the middle point.
I've seen this guy race all day. This guy is very, very good with his lines and drifts.
Yeah, I can see that clearly.
He'll chain them left and right all day. Looks like Concordia back in fourth place doing some maybe unintentional bagging. Oh, and falling off the edge in the last gear set. Conestoga's first place is already starting to run away with it.
Seems like they know this map very well.
But you never know. It's pretty early in the race, about halfway through. Items on 4 players. If you get the right offensive set, you can really lay some punishment down on the person in front of you.
Yeah, it seems like they got second and third, so if they can chain off their attack items, they can definitely bring him down.
Definitely. So what do you think is the hardest part about this course itself?
I would say probably the spinning clock wheels.
Yeah, they keep spinning, and they're different every lap. Sometimes they give you a shortcut, sometimes they take away a path. Here we go. Conestoga's first player in the Bitty Buggy, the Yoshi combo.
Still running very far ahead.
Just front running very far. It's a fantastic race for him.
Yeah, this is not looking too good.
And he's got great defense.
In third place.
He's definitely got this.
Third lap.
Concordia's taken up second place here with the Cat Peach, and the blue shell has zeroed in on him. Conestoga turns the corner with a star, but isn't quite close enough to take second or third.
Concordia takes second and third.
So very close now in that race. Just a 6-5 win. Looks like Concordia is up, what was that, 13-9 I saw?
I can't count. I hope so, though. Oh, there we go.
Concordia's players
Park!
are cheering. This is for Baby Park. The world record's somewhere around 1 minute. We might see them cut across the grass, except for that short little cut at each end of this little oval. There's not much to this course except just managing those items.
Yeah, this is one of the most skillful tracks in the game.
I completely disagree with you.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Well, okay. But it definitely is an oval. We can agree on that, yeah. And Waluigi getting hit by an item, we can see that items are definitely going to be a big thing. Concordia's players are taking the little grass shortcut. You can see them drifting into it and releasing a turbo and jumping across. That can be effective. But if you miss enough items pulling the little shortcut, then the people behind you are just going to start catching up with their mushrooms and other offensive items. It's really hard to keep track of this race, but we're on the 5th lap right now. Concordia's dropped from first and second to first and fourth, but some mushrooms here will help with the shortcuts. We'll see how the items fall. Oh, no. Hopefully the items fall better than that cut right there. Conestoga's back at 1 and 3. They've got a super horn, not a great offensive item, but in such a chaotic map, it can definitely be helpful.
Hope he just goes straight through the grass with that one.
It's the last lap, and it ends up 3rd and 4th for Concordia, 1st and 2nd for Conestoga. What a great map for them. That one was everywhere. How would you have finished had you raced that one?
Probably first.
First?
Yep.
Did you say 5th or first?
I said first.
Oh, okay. Well, here we go. I think we've got one race left in this set, and we'll see who comes out on top. It is Cheap Beach.
Oh, this map sucks.
Hey, this is one of my favorites. I love this boardwalk zone. Just catching the perfect drift around this first corner feels so good. You can also get this coin, and you sometimes that drift, you can pull it all the way off to that ramp.
This is also a baggers map.
It can be.
There's a bullet bill extension right at the front.
It's true. Well, it looks like Conestoga's in that 3rd and 4th bagging section.
I'm just watching this Waluigi miss every item
Oh,
box.
no. It is unfortunate when you miss those. I've missed so many myself. But it's early in the race. It is very early in the race. And he's definitely got a high mini-turbo build. So he will be able to take these tight corners a little bit better than the Cat Cruisers would.
Oh, but
And the
Yoshi
pack
just
is
hit
still
the
tight.
walk.
Yeah. So here we go. This is what I'm talking about. He starts the drift. He hits the coin. He takes the drift all the way through. And that view as a reward is just something else. Red Yoshi using a little rear view to see who's behind him. Check the items of the person behind.
Yeah, I don't think Concordia's been doing that much.
Well, you know, in the heat of the moment, these little things like looking forwards, looking back, sometimes you lose track of what you should do. It's hard to race these things. Mario Kart, I read recently this year, is one of the most stressful video games to play. It has a high impact on people's heart rate.
Where'd you get that from? Wikipedia?
Absolutely. Yes. Concordia is in 1st and 2nd.
Oh, he just hits 2 banana peels.
Got hit by bananas right at the item boxes.
Unlucky.
You know, sometimes trapping those item boxes is definitely a good idea. Concordia's looking good up in 1st and 2nd. Conestoga's got some power items in the back. Infinite
Blue
mushrooms
shell coming in
and
for first
stars
place.
and blue shells
Oh,
going
wait,
up.
he has a horn.
He has a horn, and he was able to block that blue shell. Those power items took back second place for Conestoga. We'll see if Concordia can snipe him with a green shell and pull the boo so he doesn't get hit. But he hits himself
Swan,
with the
what are
blue
you
shell.
doing?
Some friendly fire there. Concordia takes first and fourth, and the Grand Prix goes to, it's tied 22-22. So we've got to go to a tiebreaker race.
All right, you guys ready for one more?
So the score is tied 22-22, and what happens next is these racers will start up another Grand Prix. They'll pick one course at random, and whichever team wins the Grand Prix. Here we go. The race that was picked was Toad's Turnpike. You got to say that one slowly. Make sure you get it right. This one has a lot of chaos in it, not because it's a difficult geometry for the course, but because there's all these cars driving around with you, and they are not forgiving. They're not fast, but they are not forgiving. So avoiding these things with the drifts, with the lines, that's the hard thing, the hardest thing about this map. So when you see these ramp cars, what's your first instinct? Do you take them or do you leave them be?
Oh, you leave them be 100%.
Yeah, but what about being safe up in the air?
You lose a lot of speed being up in the air.
That depends on the cart build though, right? So, Concordia's up at first, getting hit by something, and then getting also taken out by a super horn. Conestoga's holding on to a fire flower. That is one of the best offensive items and defensive items. Able to break incoming shells or break the racers in front of you.
Both bottom players have 0 coins. This is amazing.
And that is something we haven't even spoken about. If you look at first and second, it's 7 and 8. They're going something like 4.5 to 5% faster than their minimum speed. And that's just because they've got that number of coins. Whereas the players on the bottom with 0 coins, they're going at, even while driving at max speed, they're maxing out their cart's speed with no bonus speed. When you get those coins, for each coin it's about 0.6% extra max speed. So it can help you keep that lead or catch up. Does he go over the, the Cat Peach
He
does
just
not.
goes straight into the bridge.
Yeah, goes straight into the bridge. Can't quite clear that overhead. And here we are on the last lap. If Concordia takes
he got a blue shell.
first, I
Will he
think
get to the
that
finish line
means that
beforehand?
they win.
Swan gets... Swan
First
gonna get
place is
second.
at 5 points, and third place is at 2 points. That puts Concordia at 7 to Conestoga's
Let's see.
4.
4 points to 7. That means we
So
take
Concordia
the half.
took the first Grand Prix. Congratulations, Concordia. We've got more to come. That's 1 out of 3. We're playing best of 3. Ooh, and here we are at the start of the second Grand Prix. Concordia's up 1-0, and we've got Mount Wario. What is the most dangerous part of this map?
It's obviously got to be the tree section.
Yeah.
That's the most difficult part.
About halfway through, there is a forest that the racers have to drive through. And if I were driving it, I would hit every tree but one. for sure. Right up here, there's a little shortcut they can take. Just skip off this little
Willie.
ledge.
Every single
1,
besides
2,
the
3 people
Oh,
take
no.
it. The Waluigi
the
decides not
Waluigi
to.
is not taking the shortcut.
That's okay. He could be hoping for some good speed items.
He doesn't take the second shortcut either.
Yeah. He's
But
going
he
for the
does
boost
take the
panels.
boost panels. Oh, no, mine completely misses it.
Okay, so Concordia's up at first and second. Second place has got a nice defensive red shell behind. Here's a little waterway, and this, right after this, is the tree section we're talking about. Probably the hardest part. After this, it opens up into some slaloms, and then a straightaway at the end with some boost panels. So if the players make it through the trees, it gets a little bit easier.
Now this map is really good for front running, so I'm assuming Jimmy is going to be front running the entire race.
Okay, Concordia
Oh, I
makes
see
it
them.
through,
They're
hitting
already
one,
hitting all the trees.
hitting one tree, and that's just the hardest part. So here we go. The slaloms are coming up next. These are tight S turns. Drifting around these things can be difficult, and now we've got a bunch of, I don't know, just bumps here. Coming out of this section with speed items can be really influential at the end because there's a corner you can cut with mushrooms, and Conestoga's got lots of those to spare.
Will Andrew Swan snipe someone in the air?
We'll see. Concordia's at first and second,
He's
but
gonna
these
probably
shortcuts
save it
right
for the
here,
shortcut.
deciding to drift, but gets hit by a green shell and hits one of
He takes
Conestoga's
down
with the
one of
red
them.
shell. Can he hit him with the green?
He
can.
snipes them
It's
twice.
a double hit at the end. Concordia takes first, third, and Conestoga second and fourth. What an exciting ending. The players with some skillful item play there.
You got outplayed.
There's not much you can say to that green shell that's coming right at you, you know? From point blank almost. It's a great race all around. They were pretty close, first to fourth. Second race of this second Grand Prix is DK Jungle. This one's got some really interesting shortcuts that you can take across the grass.
I wonder if the Yoshi and the Waluigi will understand the shortcuts.
Conestoga raced this earlier today, and the red Yoshi really took the shortcuts well. So we'll see if Concordia's Jim and Andrew can take this one home as well. But here's a little shortcut right here. You drift into this little ramp, and if you've got a mushroom, you can do what the player in the top left just did, go left of the ramp. But we'll see. Concordia's dropped back into third and fourth. Conestoga's pulling away first and second. It's early in the race. You'll see the players just collecting coins, cycling through items. Okay, Concordia's loaded up on the mushrooms. A little bit of a shortcut here, just an alternate path. The high path has a bunch of coins in it, right? Sometimes players are low on coins and take that one instead.
Yeah, speaking of coins, seems like all the players have less than 5 coins.
Yep. Here we're starting to see that red Yoshi pull away. He's got right behind him his Waluigi player with 2 defensive items. This course, that red Yoshi could definitely pull away with a nice defensive wall. 2 green shells and then Waluigi himself.
Yeah, it's going to be very rough cracking the defense of this red Yoshi player, especially that he's very good and he's running past even farther and farther away.
It's true.
But the Waluigi did get hit behind, so now he's in 3rd place.
Yeah, this could be the moment where Concordia on the 3rd lap starts to make a comeback. We'll see if the smart bounce takes out the Cat Peach. Ooh, Concordia's also got a Boo. Concordia's not getting the offensive items that they need at this point, just defensive air horns. And that red Yoshi is just hitting his lines. He's just doing a great job. At max coins, 10 to top off his speed, and he's got a defensive banana to boot.
Oh, Jimmy got a star in 2nd place. This could be huge.
Just 1 flyaway and then a 1 left
This could
turn.
be really huge for Jimmy.
Red Yoshi is basically right there at the end. And there's nothing that's going to take him back in 2nd or 3rd.
Oh.
The Peach takes the wide line and gets past at the end. Concordia loses that race. 3rd and 4th place to Conestoga's 1st and 2nd. Well done to them. Looks like we're at 10 for Concordia, 12 for Conestoga. Boy, that was a rough race for Concordia there.
Yeah,
that
maybe
red
you
Yoshi.
need to sub out Swan.
You know, he's doing a fine job, I think. Here we go, Animal Crossing, and it is springtime, right? All these cherry blossoms. This is an interesting map because it comes in 4 different varieties. You've got spring, summer, fall, and winter varieties, and it looks different. It has different jumps. It has different traction stats, depending on which one is randomly selected by Nintendo's number generator.
Yeah, this map is very difficult to practice on, so let's see what they come up with.
Okay, last race that Red Yoshi was leading the front, and
the Red
time,
Yoshi sniped himself and went back to 4th place.
You know, that's one of those things. Nintendo has a smart bounce feature for its green shells, where they'll go off a wall and they'll get sent off in a direction towards a player, even if it wouldn't otherwise bounce off like that. So, for some reason, the numbers just said, you know, Red Yoshi, we're going to bounce that green shell back at you.
Concordia taking 1st, 2nd place.
So far, about halfway through.
Swan holding 2 defensive items.
That's really good
3rd
for
place
Concordia.
having 1 red shell.
Red shell in 3rd could take out the carried red shell. We'll see what he gets then with this double item box. It's that Red Yoshi
Boomerang.
again, getting a boomerang, able to take out both the defensive item and the Cat Peach. And now he's got that boomerang in his pocket behind a banana. Okay, Waluigi's now up in 2nd. Oh, an unfortunate drift in the wrong direction. I can't explain why the controllers do that sometimes.
The Red Yoshi is just trying to get Swan out of the game with the boomerang.
Concordia's regular Peach is still front running. Got a bit of a lead, but the Red Yoshi's got a mushroom here at the end, and there is a mushroom shortcut right before the finish line. It's right here.
Oh, he can't take
the
it.
Waluigi tries to take it, barely misses it, but does in fact do well. Concordia, though, somehow sneaks out the win there right at the last second, right? That Cat Peach came out of nowhere. And Concordia is at 18 to 15 for Conestoga. It comes down to this last race. Either team can still win this one.
Yep.
You're only guaranteed 3 points.
Swan and Jimmy better not throw.
Cloud Top Cruise. How many times have we seen this one today? At least 3 times, I think. So I would say they are ready. They have practiced this. But I still predict they're going to fall off a couple times. This is a hard course with a shortcut right at the end. You go over a couple gaps, try to land on a couple leaves, and it is frequently missed. It's definitely a difficult shortcut to hit if you are out of line, or if you're drifting, or if you just got more speed than you're used to. The Red Yoshi on these kinds of courses tends to really pull away, and we're already starting to see that. He's got a defensive red. We'll see. Here's the leaves I'm talking about. Red Yoshi tricks and hits them both perfectly. Well done. The Waluigi uses a mushroom to take it, but and barely dodges that left edge of the map. Keeping alive.
The Red Yoshi is starting to pull out of the pack a little bit.
Yes, he is. We'll start to see maybe a blue shell come out of last place. Maybe not. And taking out the Peach with a star. That's got to feel good. On these boost panels here towards the end of the map, there's lightning bolts. Players have to dodge them, and they're not all difficult to dodge. There's a pattern with the way that they strike, but they are something to avoid there. Red Yoshi just snaking across this course. Oh, this is such a good build for this course. And when you are front running like this, it is easy to just get a bigger and bigger lead, and he is doing a fantastic job. Concordia trying to chain a star through the item boxes. We'll see if they can get anything that can take out that first place Yoshi, but I think at this point Concordia is just trying to hold on to 2nd and 3rd place.
I don't think Waluigi is going to catch up to them, especially with no attack items this late.
this double. What if
Oh,
he's
that's
got
not
some
good.
nice power items. A star and an infinite. If he hits these perfectly, he could surpass someone, but barely doesn't pass him.
Second and third
So
place.
here we go. Concordia ends up at 23 to Conestoga's 21, and that is the second Grand Prix. And that ends, I believe, the championship match. That's 2 Grand Prix for Concordia to Conestoga's none. So congratulations to the racers. I think that's the end of it. I'm just waiting for someone to give me the thumbs up to end it up. Great job, racers. That was some exciting gameplay. Congratulations.